The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Cranberry Wealth.
The proceeding was paid for by Cranberry Wealth. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 7 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. The Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township and Potter Township in Beaver County. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station. Residents should boil water for 1 minute and let cool before using. No word on when that boil water advisory will be lifted. Pittsburgh Regional Transit Police investigating after a person was shot on a PRT bus Saturday afternoon. The incident happened just before 5 o'clock on a P1 bus near the Homewood station on the East Busway. Police say 2 juveniles who may have been responsible for the shooting got off the bus at the Homewood station and then fled. The person who was shot was taken to a hospital in critical condition. No other injuries were reported. East Busway was temporarily closed on Saturday evening, but it has since reopened. Well, the Pentagon has released the identities of all 6 victims of the U.S. refueling aircraft that crashed in Iraq. CBS News correspondent Shauna Mazzella has more on one of the families that are speaking out.
The incident's still under investigation, and the pain still fresh for family members of 28-year-old Sergeant Tyler Simmons in Columbus, Ohio.
It hurts more than anything.
Simmons was a boom operator, responsible for refueling fighter jets mid-flight.
Tyler was, Mom, I'm doing this. I understand the risk, and I know this is what it's going to take. I know I could lose my life. He said, but this is what I want to do.
KDKA Radio News Time, 7:03. Time to visit RomeMonuments.com. Life is a journey to remember. Memorialize that journey. RomeMonuments.com. We've got the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Hello, this is Lester Botkin, Chief Investment Officer of Botkin Family Wealth Management. I've been lucky in my life, and I'm grateful to the clients who've helped make our family-owned business a success. But like most of us, my beginnings were far from glamorous. Julie and I got married after I'd spent 3 years in college and 5 years in the Marine Corps. She worked full-time to support us both while I was finishing my degree. One day, we got caught in a major hailstorm. Hail the size of golf balls nearly destroyed our car. When the insurance check arrived, we used it to pay down Julie's student loans and drove that badly dented car around for 4 years. We didn't have much back then, but we had each other, and remembering those years makes me appreciate the blessings we have today. At Botkin Family Wealth Management, we're interested in hearing your story, because understanding your beginnings is an important part of appreciating what it took to get where you are today. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a cloudy, windier, and warmer second half of the weekend with a high of 69, leading to the risk for a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. Watch for showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow, then afternoon snow showers as a high of 63 early gives way to upper 30s, then snow showers on Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's time to get greened. Doug Oster is here. All natural, no pesticides, no artificial ingredients. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here we go. Let's make that 10th caller a winner of a gift certificate to Sorgel's out in Wexford, and that number is 412-922-1020. So today, Doug said, as if I haven't had enough to do with the home show and everything else, plus spend an hour with you on the radio the other night, we just want to talk to the people. The weather's getting warmer. Spring is just literally, even though it's officially here, it's still a few weeks before it actually arrives. But people want to get out and play in the dirt. So if you have any gardening questions today, let's line them up. Let's get them in early and often. 4 lines available for that. Right now, 866-391-1020. But as it goes, the curtain comes up. But the curtain must come down because, sadly, today is the final day of the Home and Garden Show. And I want to say to Mark and everyone, thank you. An incredible run. Big crowd yesterday. Had a lot of fun there, as I know you did, Doug.
And I want to say thank you to Mark Moore. And I'm going to go down and track him down and say thank you in person because it's been a great show. And, boy, Rob, you've got a lot of fans out there. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks for coming up and telling us how much you enjoy the show. I would love to hear from you today. I would love to talk gardening today, 866-391-1020. And, Rob, I got to start the show off with apologizing to you.
That's a first.
I've been carrying around a gift for you for a week from my friend Noah Carabinos and his assistant Bob. They are the Onion Kings of Pittsburgh, but they also make really good homemade maple syrup.
Ooh.
And so they brought me a couple bottles, and I left one in my computer bag for a week because I knew if I didn't leave it in that computer bag where my headphones were and everything that I would forget it. And yesterday, some idiot...
You left it.
No, somebody else knocked my computer bag off a chair. And I was so worried about my computer, but it was fine. Unfortunately, the maple syrup container cracked open, and I had to throw my headphones away. I was in quite a state last night. Mrs. Oster was very kind to try and help me and clean off the seeds, the packets of seeds, and the computer. That stuff is sticky, and all the cables and my adapter to do the presentation. I was beside myself, and I threw those headphones in the trash, but I forgot to get the little adapter. I got to go back into the trash and get the adapter. So I'm sorry, Rob. I don't have your maple syrup for you. I have a jar of it somewhere. And so I'm going to split it and bring it back in for you because Noah and Bob wanted you to have it, and they wanted me to tell you how much they enjoy what you do.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And by the way, just think of how sweet the sounds will be in those headphones. You know, it's little things like that when you least expect it, it can go wrong.
Yeah. The bottom of my computer bag seriously had an inch of maple syrup in it.
At least it didn't get into your computer.
I know, but you know how much work those guys do to get maple syrup? I mean, I don't know how many gallons of the stuff you get out of the maple tree you've got to boil down to get just a little bit of maple syrup, and how good it is and how precious it is. I felt like,
like maple syrup. Listen, it'll be okay. You know, speaking of maple syrup, we have that thing in Beaver County. I think it's put on hold this year. But it's a Brady's Run, and it's a massive event. And I was so sad to see that it was put on hold. It's been going on forever, and they have that beautiful, wonderful lodge house that they just serve pancakes, tons of pancakes. People show up. They have different exhibits and shows, and it's a great event. There's something about this time of year in maple syrup. Obviously, they're tapping these trees. That's a real big part of our history.
Oh, yeah, and I've done stories over the years I have a friend, the Garlic King of Millvale, and one time went out to his farm and watched the whole thing and made a video and put music to it. It was the only video I ever made where the big boss, when I was walking through the newsroom, yelled over, "Doug, that video on that maple syrup was amazing."
Nice.
It is really cool to watch the whole process and see that, everybody has their thing. And so it's really cool to see that continue. So we are at the last day of the show, and it is sad. I've had great crowds. We've had so much fun. I'll be there today at the convention center at 1:30 speaking, and then again at 4:30. I'm bringing my tomato with me. She's going to. Yeah,
nice.
She was supposed to come yesterday, but she decided, "Can I go to the parade?" I'm like, "Sure, you can go to the parade." And so I'll bring my tomato, and she will be giving out seeds, and I do have lots of free heirloom seeds to give away. I'll be talking about organic gardening on one of those talks and defeating the deer. If you are a Medicaid, SNAP, or WIC recipient or a teacher, you can get free tickets. If you just go to DougOster.com, you can see how to do that. And I have to tell a sweet story from the convention center, Rob, and it revolves around the trains. So I've, over the years, become friends with the Fort Pitt train collectors, and I love to see what they do every year. So last year, a family came. They've come to see me speak at different events, usually down at Bednar's. And after this young boy, Miles, sat through my whole talk with his parents and his sister, he came up, and they were all talking, and his mom said, well, Miles brought a train engine, and he's not sure if they're, we put it on with their stuff. And I said, hey, I know the train guys. I know Tom and all those guys. Come on, we'll go over. And so they were beaming when they saw him that last year. So they put it on and hooked it up to this big long train, and the kid was smiling from ear to ear. And we just sat there looking at each other. And well, this year they came in right as I finished, and I yelled over, "Did you bring a train?" And he's like, "Yes." And I said, "All right, let's go." Mom wanted to go see Ty Pennington, who had a great crowd, by the way. He's putting on a good show. And so I said, well, we got 20 minutes before Ty comes on. And I told Miles, let's just dump your parents and let's just go over to the train thing. But they all came. And so we went over again. And as we're walking, Tom sees me, and I'm pointing to Miles, and all the guys start standing up, and they're smiling. And he had, and I don't know the details, a new engine with a different, I don't know, they were talking about transformers or something. And they put it on there, and he has a little remote, like in his hand, that worked with their stuff where he could run the train around. And so I posted that on Facebook this morning with the pictures of him getting that on there. And I guess to me, that was just the sweetest thing. And again, I'm not sure who was having more fun. Those old guys that run the train thing, or Miles. And I just sat there. Again, we were all beaming, and that's one of the reasons I love being part of the Home and Garden Show. Boy, I saw so many people yesterday and had so much fun. Today's the last day. Come on down. Sunday's easy to park. We'd love to see you, and it is so much fun. We got to talk a little bit of gardening, though. Oh, man. Snowdrops finishing up. Crocus is doing their thing. Hellebores, beautiful hellebores blooming. And my yellow mammoth crocus, that's the crocus that I love the most. And I know we're close to break here, but I got to tell this story real quick. My mother wasn't much of a gardener, and she had these yellow mammoth crocuses right by the front door. We had well water. It was right by this well. And when I'd come home from school in the spring, I would see those, and it was so nice. And then when I was cleaning that house out, I was doing really well until I looked back and I looked at those flowers, and all those memories of my mother came back. That's what I've been talking a lot about at the home show, about these different connections that I have with plants and people that I love or loved. And that's part of the whole show. So as I said, come on down to the convention center, and I'd love to see you on this last day. We'll have some crowds, but it's not bad. You can work your way around it.
All right, so listen, we need you to call in and talk to Doug about gardening. So the number to dial is 866-391-1020.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Despite not having Malcolm and Crosby in the lineup, the Pens defeat Utah 4-3. Bucks over Baltimore yesterday. Spring training baseball 8-6. Ozuna and Davis homer. Today it's Tampa Bay. World Baseball Classic. It was Venezuela over Japan 8-5. They now take on Italy in the semifinal. And the other semifinal coming up, it's the Dominican Republic and Team USA with Paul Skeens on the mound, and that'll happen later today. Goals by Albert Dickois and Bradley Sample and Sam Bassett secured a 3-2 win for the Riverhounds against Loudoun United. That happened yesterday. And top-ranked Duke got its second straight ACC Tournament Championship, defeating number 10 Virginia 74-70 in Charlotte, making their third title in 4 years. In the Big 12, Arizona secured tournament victory with a 79-74 win over Houston, while St. John's routing UConn 72-52. Akron won the MAC title. Through 3 rounds of the Players' Championship in Florida, Ludwig Åberg remains your leader at 13 under. He has a 3-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Come with me to get my Invisalign. They walked me through everything I needed to know. How long it'll take, how it works, and what to expect. Then it was time for the real part. They put on the attachments, they blend in with my teeth, they help the aligners grip your teeth and move them the right way. It felt a little weird at first, but honestly, not bad at all. They popped in my first set of aligners, showed me how to take them out, and that was it. I'm officially part of the Invisalign Club. I even wore them at a football game, super comfortable and easy to talk with. For someone who's always filming on the sidelines or covering sports nonstop, this fits my lifestyle perfectly.
Serving Allegheny County for 50 years and supporting survivors of crime, Center for Victims invites you to its Lighting Candles in the Darkness Gala, Thursday, April 9th. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Visit centerforvictims.org.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Have you or a loved one recently needed nursing home care? This can be very expensive and you can lose your life savings without proper planning. The attorneys at Julian Gray Associates have helped thousands of families navigate these difficult situations. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM at AM 1020. KDKA.
All right. By the way, I just got a little note from a longtime friend, Jerry. She said that Maple Syrup Festival, the folks at Big Knob are going to pick up the slack because the maple syrup at Brady's Run is not going to take place this year. So you can find information about that. So that's a good thing. So,
and go get, you won't believe what real maple syrup tastes like. It's a different thing. It's different than, sugar water. This is the real deal, and it's spectacular.
It is. Waffles or pancakes or either?
Waffles.
Yeah, me too, man.
You're not a pancake guy?
Mm-mm.
Too heavy?
Yes. Well, so are waffles. I mean, but I like French toast too, but that's really heavy. But you know what's always...
I grew up on Eggos. Boy, I used to love Eggos.
Listen.
Let go my Eggo.
You give me Pop-Tarts 5 days a week.
You can't eat that.
Listen. Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day, that was great. You bite into one of those now, you're like, boo.
No, and I don't like them in the toaster either.
Oh, raw Pop-Tarts. I'm a toaster man for my Pop-Tarts.
I've been on the edge my entire life. 866. I also found out, you know who used to love Pop-Tarts? You're going to laugh at me. Jim Morrison.
Really?
Maybe I think the connection. I get
Riders
it.
on the storm.
All right, with your Pop-Tart in your hand. Here's Sandy in Monroeville. Who's writing this stuff? Hey, Sandy.
Good morning. Just wondered, what colors do hellebores come in?
Oh, they come in lots of different colors, Sandy. So this is a perennial plant that comes back every year. It has evergreen foliage. And then, Sandy, the one that blooms here in the spring, its common name is Lenten rose. The Latin name is Helleborus orientalis. That one, breeders can do all sorts of different stuff on. If you have Facebook, take a look at my Facebook, and a couple posts down, people have been posting their hellebores, and oh, they're so beautiful. I have one. There's this whole series that I found when I went to Baltimore to the Mid-Atlantic Nursery Trade Show, and it's called Wedding Party. And that one's pretty popular. I see them in the nurseries, but the one that I have a picture of is called Shotgun Wedding, and it's a creamy white flower with these beautiful purple, I wouldn't say spots, bigger than spots, but just purple variegation on it, and they're just beautiful. But it can be all sorts of different flowers. They can be pure white. I've got one it's a double pure white. There's purples, there's reds, there's like dark reds. It's endless, and they're pretty cool. Boy, and I actually saw something online on my Facebook Marketplace. Go to Facebook Marketplace and search hellebores, and you'll see a bunch of pictures there. But I saw a post from Sorgels that they have their hellebores ready for us. And so it's just an amazing plant. Have you seen it out in gardens, Sandy, at all? Do you know much about the plant?
I have 3 of them, 1 white and 2 pink, and I just thought maybe there's other colors besides those.
There are, and you should put them in with right next to those other ones, because you know from growing it what a wonderful plant it is. And have the deer ever nibbled on yours? Because they're deer resistant. Yeah, they're deer resistant. But sometimes when they get desperate, sometimes they might nibble on a flower. But I'm glad they haven't touched that plant.
And I get herds of deer through my yard, too, so it's like great.
Me too. It's no fun, is it?
No.
So what kind of stuff are you growing, Sandy, besides your hellebores?
Oh, all the different kinds of perennials, the day lilies, and it's still.
How are you growing daylilies with herds of deer? I need to know.
I spray them a lot.
What is your spray of choice?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. It's just one of those deer repellents.
Okay, yeah, they all work. They all work. And lots of different types of daylilies with different flowers and such?
A couple, not a lot. No, I tend to divide the Celadora, so I've got more than enough.
And how long do those Stelladoras bloom for you? They're like a real long bloomer, aren't they?
Yes, they bloom at once, and then they seem to like rebloom again, like late in the summer.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty yellow flowers.
Yeah, they stay small. Sedum I have, Coreopsis, just a little variety. Oh, primrose is nice right now too.
You're growing primrose too? Maybe you should be hosting this show. I can't get primrose to grow for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Are they the short varieties with like yellow flowers, or are they tall varieties? What are they?
Short with yellow, some are purple.
Oh, those are so nice. And what are those blooming now, you said?
No.
Oh, a little later.
I mean, they're coming up green, but they're not blooming yet.
What's their bloom time? When do they bloom?
I guess when I never really paid it. I guess like May.
Yeah, pretty soon. They're a spring bloomer. Well, good, Sandy. Thanks so much for your call. It was great to talk to you. And add some more hellebores to your garden. You'll be glad that you did.
I will. I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
All right, keep those calls coming, 866-391-1020. What was the song, Life's a Memory on Primrose Lane? Ever hear that song?
Yes, I did hear that song, but that was the song they used for the short-lived Henry Fonda show called Primrose Path or Primrose Lane, maybe it was.
Wow.
There's a little trivia for you, Rob, TV trivia.
You know where my mind goes at times. All right, we're going to get to Linda on the other side. You got a trip coming up?
I do. I am taking, and this is becoming very popular. And I had a guy stop at the show yesterday. I'm not trying to force you into panicking to do this trip. I'm going to the enchanted Christmas markets of Germany, France, and Switzerland, and I've been talking about how it's really have a lot of interest, but you have plenty of time if you think the trip is right for you. I'm not the hard sell on these trips. They usually sell out. I'm just telling you on this one, people for some reason are super interested in it, and it's going to be amazing to see those 3 countries. And if you look at the pictures at DougOster.com of all these Christmas markets, I think you're going to see that it's just going to be amazing. And if you think that trip's right for you, just sign up now. If later on you don't think it's right, you get all your money back. It's okay. But just get a spot on there because it's going to be absolutely wonderful.
Hey, we're talking chili recipes next hour on the Coons Cooking Hour, so stay where you're at. Much more to come today till 1 o'clock with your Pratt Pack on KDK. And Doug's taking your calls, so whatever's on your mind, 866-391-1020.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
When you're at a restaurant, do you let someone who doesn't know you order your food? Why should it be any different when buying a mattress? At the Original Mattress Factory, we believe that choosing a mattress should be a personal experience. That's why our knowledgeable sales associates take the time to understand your needs and preferences to help you find the mattress that's right for you. With our wide range of different feels, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. So don't let someone else tell you what you want. Decide for yourself at the Original Mattress Factory.
In the darkest moments, survivors search for even the smallest light. On Thursday, April 9th, be part of something powerful. Join Center for Victims for an evening of hope, courage, and resilience, lighting candles in the darkness. Reserve your seat today, centerforvictims.org.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's almost that time for us to feed the need with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank on KDKA Radio. On March 24th, our Giant Eagle Feed the Need Radiothon will be raising money to provide meals for our neighbors in need. Text NEED to 50155 on our Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union text line, and your donation will provide meals locally. Brought to you in part by Rome Monument, Hampton Beer Outlet, and by MediConnect, Medicare made simple. Details at kdkaradio.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees in Pittsburgh International at 7:30. I'm Rob Taylor. The Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township as well as Potter Township. Authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station. Residents should boil water for 1 minute, let it cool before using. No word on when the boil water advisory will be lifted. Duquesne Light says they've called in crews from places like Florida, even Canada, to help with the restoration of power in the Pittsburgh area after those high winds knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers on Friday. Duquesne Light's operations director is Matt Nystein. He said in all, over 500 mutual aid trucks have come in or are coming into town to help with the power restoration.
That's one of the things that we took away from last year's storm was if we need help, we're going to call help. We're going to call them in as quickly as we can, and we're going to call in as many of them as we can.
Duquesne Light says as of now, there are about 28,000 customers still without power in Allegheny County and 3,300 without power in Beaver County. Taking a look at West Penn Power and their latest numbers, about 2,100 customers in Allegheny County still without power. Butler County has about 2,800 customers still without power. As far as Westmoreland County, about 4,300 still without power, 2,900 without power in Washington County. KDKA Radio News Time is 7:32. We have the AccuWeather forecast for your Sunday coming up.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers, buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted homebuyer since 2015.
What could be better than walking into our greenhouse with lush plants, gardening supplies, and a beautiful rack of seeds? Hi, this is Randy Sorgel of Sorgels in Wexford, and if you're looking for something to do, Sorgels is the place to go. There's so much to do. Visit our market for fresh fruit and vegetables, our bakery for a delicious pie, our deli, our gluten-free store with over 2,000 gluten-free items. Browse our gift barn, and our home accents area is absolutely breathtaking. And did you know that we now sell high-quality baby clothing? If you have kids or grandkids, you are missing out by not taking a look. Arsenal Cider's tasting room is open Wednesday through Sunday, and of course Arrowhead Wine Shop is open every day. Visit us today. There are no crowds, and we especially want to thank you, our customers, for supporting our family, and a shout out to Mary, one of our special longtime customers. Check out the website sorgels.com for our information on our essential food program, and look for updates about our free pruning demonstration early March. Sorgels, 724-935-2090.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid to now sell. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks to be cloudy, warmer, and increasingly windy with a high reaching 69 later, followed by a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. But showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow give way to afternoon snow showers with an early high of 63, then temperatures ending up in the upper 30s with snow showers Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
Okay, here we go. Let's push through the weekend, and we'll be back Monday. Colin Dunlap, can't wait to talk to you on Monday, 2 to 6 right here, KDK.
All right, what do you say we make it the 10th caller to win a gift certificate to Janowski's Shake Your Shamrock event, big day, garage sale. We'll tell you all about that in a little bit today at the farm. Doors open at 8, that garage sale at 10. That number to win that gift certificate, $25 gift certificate, 412-922-1020. Doug's here today taking your calls. Let's go to Linda. Linda, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. I have 2 questions about the Helleboris. Number 1, do you think that would be suitable to put on a gravesite?
Linda, do me a favor. Repeat your question.
Oh, okay. would it be suitable to plant Helleborus on a grave site?
That would probably be a good plant for a grave site just because it's tough. The only thing is they kind of like a shaded location. Is the grave out in the full sun?
Yeah, it's on a hill. It's windy, too. I don't know how that would be. I guess I could try it. The other thing is, when should I plant it?
They're usually planted 2 different times, either early spring or September. So either way, you could do it in the spring. Full sun's going to be tough for that plant, though. It prefers more to be in the shade. Let's try to think of something that's a tough sun lover that could survive that. How tall do you want it to get?
It doesn't have to be real tall. I just want something, there that's not a lot of work. Like some people plant things in the summer and then they, have to water them and all that. And you're right. I have one on the side of my house, and it does have pretty much shade. That's why I put it there. I forgot. That's why I planted it there. Plus, the deer don't bother it, and there's deer at this cemetery.
How about coneflower? Do you know coneflower?
Yes, it's almost like a daisy type thing.
Yeah, and they're a prairie plant, and so they're pretty tough, and they are deer resistant. Although sometimes the young deer will nibble on the buds, but I think that might be a good choice as a prairie plant. Another one to think of would be something called agastache, sometimes referred to as hyssop. It smells like anise. The deer won't touch it. It's a sun lover. Again, another real tough plant that's kind of indestructible.
Can I get that locally?
Oh, yeah. They've got that at your local nursery. Trying to think of another perennial that would be good in there. Another thing I like, and it wouldn't be for the whole season, but maybe throw a few daffodils in this fall. That's always kind of a nice thing on a gravesite.
Yeah, the deer won't bother that either.
No. So that's what I'm thinking, basically. And maybe if you put a coneflower in, you could kind of tuck a hellebore kind of underneath it, and it'd be a little bit of shade in there. What color is the one that you have that blooms?
It's white and pinks, I guess, mostly.
Nice.
One other thing, I planted some snowdrops in a pot in my front, and they didn't come up. So and it doesn't look like anything dug in the pot to get the bulbs.
They might have rotted.
Okay. Too much rain.
Well, I haven't had great luck in growing bulbs outside in containers. The way I've been taught to do it is put the bulbs in and then put the pot in like a garage or someplace like that so it doesn't get all that rain and snow. I think that's probably what happened. Do you have a spot where they could go in the ground?
Yes, I probably could find a spot. I'm not the gardener. My husband was, and he just passed. So
no, I'm sorry.
I'm trying thank you. I'm trying little things here and there.
Yeah, that's all we can do. And for snowdrops, they're one of the easiest plants to plant and grow. But I think they'd be better off in the ground. And because they're so small, the bulbs, they don't have to go down very deep. So if you do this, maybe get 25 bulbs or something like that, and those should be also available in the fall at your local nursery. And then just kind of dig a little hole. It only has to be a couple inches deep, and just throw them in there. Put some compost on them, or get a little bag of compost, and then once they catch on, they'll be there every year, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give up. Thanks.
Okay, Linda. Always know that you can reach out to me at DougOster.com, and I answer all my questions there. And if you don't hear back within 24 hours, it means I did not see the message. So on my website, I've got it set up where you type your email address in twice, but sometimes people type it in twice wrong. And so I just want to let everybody out there know, if that email address is wrong, I can't get back to you. Sometimes I can guess, and I send emails to different addresses to try and get a message back. But they must think, what an idiot. He says he's going to answer everything, and he doesn't. But I answer all my garden questions. And, Linda, particularly with your, starting this new gardening journey, I would really like to help you be successful at it. And the other thing to think about, were there plants that were special to him that you might want to add to that site? Think about that a little bit.
When you said daffodils, I was thinking tulips. He liked those. We have had some in our garden. It was fenced in, but the deer go after those. So
and that's the thing. If you put tulips on there, the deer would just feast on them, and he would not be happy with that. All right, Linda. Hey, thank you very much for the call, and let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, number to dial to be on the program, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020.
So it is the start of daffodil season, which is exciting for me, and I tell the story all the time, but maybe you haven't heard it. Where I grew up, my grandparents are buried at a cemetery called Lakeview Cemetery. It's also where President Garfield is buried, and they have a thing there called Daffodil Hill that started in the 1940s, and I went to visit those graves when I was 7, and I'm 66 now, so it was quite a while ago, 1967. And when I looked behind me and I saw those beautiful daffodils blooming, I was profoundly affected. I didn't know they were daffodils at the time, but I learned later, and my mother, she always talked of Daffodil Hill there in Cleveland, and so when I moved to my current garden 20-some years ago, I told my mom I was going to plant those daffodils in memory of my grandparents and make my own Daffodil Hill. So you can imagine how excited I am. I'm trying to add 1,000 bulbs a year. And to do that, I'm using this tool called a power planter auger. Actually, we have them for sale at the home show, and they're being sold at $7 less than retail. And because I just found that out like 2 days ago. I was sitting there, sitting in for them, so I was taking the orders and everything, and I'm like, they only want $20 for this auger? If you're going to plant bulbs, you need a bulb auger, and it makes your life so much easier. Just trust me on that. Everyone I see at the show that's a bulb planter, like, I'm so glad you told me about this bulb auger, but the power planter is made in America. It will last. Mine's 15 years old, maybe older, and you'll find them cheaper than $20 at Amazon, but they're not going to last. This is a good tool, and so I'm planting all those. And so right now this fall I worked down the driveway, and I'm on 4 acres, so I've got a lot of land to fill up with these daffodils. But they're already the earliest ones have started to bloom, and I am using this time to jot down notes and to take some pictures of where they're blooming and, most importantly, where they aren't. Actually, when I'm working down that driveway, I'm just going to put some little green stakes, like garden stakes, in the ground where I'm going to start planting again for next year. And I know it seems nuts to be already planning for fall planting, but you'll never remember where all these were. So take some pictures, make some plans. Think about, in my case, again, I'm really obsessed with snowdrops. I love snowdrops, and I'm going to be looking to where to add the snowdrops. I have most of my snowdrops kind of in front of the house, some out in the vegetable garden, but I like them close to the house because they bloom a little sooner. And so I'm just looking and shooting a picture. And so I know when we get to the fall, I'll know where to plant these certain bulbs, and that's one of the fun things about gardening for me, anyway, is planning. And when we come back, let's talk a little bit about a couple of different ways to start seeds. And of course, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to help you out with some of your problems. I'd love to hear your stories, what you're going to be growing this year. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about tomatoes too, because people have been asking me, what's your favorite tomato? And that's like how do you come up with your favorite tomato? So give us a call at 866-391-1020. We'd love to talk to you a little bit about your gardens.
All right, coming back with more. Stay with us.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hey, your Pratt Pack Shake Your Shamrock event, day 2, beginning shortly at Janoski's in Clinton, but also to celebrate this weekend, their annual garage sale. Big day yesterday, final day today. Doors will be locked until 10 a.m., and then they'll open the treasure chest at 10 a.m., and you'll be able to get in on clothing, books, toys, furniture, home decor, tools, and more. It's at that Lakeside Pavilion. There's not a better view anywhere in Pennsylvania. It's Janoski's Farms, Route 30 in Clinton, Pennsylvania.
Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania is committed to the communities they serve, ensuring that all their customers stay safe and warm in their homes during the cold winter months. To ensure that no one goes without heat when the temperatures drop, Columbia Gas offers energy efficiency and bill payment assistance programs to make their customers' lives easier. To learn more about the valuable services available through Columbia Gas, call 1-888-460-4332 or visit online at columbiagaspa.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Quality Foods with 8 locations to serve you. A Pittsburgh tradition. Despite not having Malcolm and Crosby in the lineup, the Pens defeat Utah 4-3. Bucks over Baltimore yesterday. Spring training baseball 8-6. Ozuna and Davis homered. Today it's Tampa Bay. World Baseball Classic. It was Venezuela over Japan 8-5. They now take on Italy in the semifinal. And the other semifinal coming up, it's the Dominican Republic and Team USA with Paul Skeens on the mound, and that'll happen later today. Goals by Albert Dickois and Bradley Sample and Sam Bassett secured a 3-2 win for the Riverhounds against Loudoun United. That happened yesterday. And top-ranked Duke got its second straight ACC tournament championship, defeating number 10 Virginia 74-70 in Charlotte, and making their third title in 4 years. In the Big 12, Arizona secured tournament victory with a 79-74 win over Houston, while St. John's routing UConn 72-52. Akron won the MAC title. Through 3 rounds of the Players' Championship in Florida, Ludwig Åberg remains your leader at 13 under. He has a 3-shot lead. More sports at 937thefan.com.
This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. You know that little voice in your head that keeps whispering, I wish I was thin. I wish this summer could be different. I wish I wasn't so self-conscious in shorts and a bathing suit. The wishing that you could have more energy and move better. The wishing stops now. Picture this. You this summer strutting the beach on your vacation, feeling good about who you are, feeling the breeze on your knees. Let's turn those wishes into your reality. Let's not procrastinate. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
Are you struggling with hearing loss? Do friends and family complain that your TV is too loud? Are you tired of asking people to repeat themselves? If you want to hear clearly again, but don't want a bulky hearing aid that makes you look old, you need to try Atom X by Audion Hearing. The Atom X is a life-changing breakthrough, precisely designed by top audio engineers, fits comfortably in your ear, is nearly invisible, and lets you adjust your sound so you can hear conversations clearly, at home, at dinner, or on the go. And right now, you can try the Atom X risk-free for 45 days. Call Audion Hearing now at 800-295-HEAR. That's HEAR for a 45-day risk-free home trial with free shipping and money-back guarantee. The Atom X is lightweight, rechargeable, practically invisible, and costs 90% less than prescription hearing aids. Don't miss out. Call 800-295-HEAR for complete details. That's 800-295-4327. Hearing for everyone. Audion Hearing.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Doug Oster tells you how to keep it green. The Organic Gardener is on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, final few minutes with Mr. Oster. Then we say goodbye to him and welcome Frank Dentisi in to talk some chili recipes today on the Coons Cooking Hour. So a couple of minutes, what's on your mind?
Well, I got a text from my friend Randy. He is the steward for my Doug's Free Seed Shacks in Vandergrift. He's got it filled up with seeds. You can find out where all those seed shacks are around our area by going to DougOster.com. And he has a suggestion for Linda. He is planted lavender on his mom's grave, and I think that is a great idea. Lavender loves full sun. It's tough as nails, and the deer won't touch it. So, let's talk a little bit about tomatoes. And I have been getting questions at the show about what are your favorite tomatoes. And, every year I grow something a little different. I've got some things that I always grow. Sun Gold, Heart of Italy, Limbaugh Legacy Potato Top, the 3945 tomatoes. Those are stuff that they're always going to be in my garden. But every year I try a bunch of different stuff, even though I've grown hundreds of different varieties. And so this year, again, we're kind of going on this theme about the people that we love or loved. And so there's a company called Tomato Fest. It's online. And the owner, and I've talked about him a lot, his name's Gary Ibsen, and he has passed away last year. But we were buddies. We shared a love of heirloom tomatoes, but also a love of being on the water. He was a canoeer, and I'm a kayaker. And so we talked a lot about that online. But my story about him was that first time that I wrote about him, I didn't realize he was in California, and I had the time zone wrong when I called him. So I'm calling him at 6 in the morning. And I've told the story before, but I love it. And so he answered, and he said, Doug, we're not supposed to talk for 2 hours. I'm like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. And he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, I got to do my morning ritual, and then I'll call you right back. And he explained what his morning ritual was about lighting this fire for his wife and getting this tea going and giving her a kiss and saying, I hope you have your best day ever. It was the sweetest thing, and it starts the story. I wrote it back in the day for the Trib. And so, again, as I said, we became good friends, and then he sent a message to everybody, like a bulk email saying, my pacemaker's been going off, and my doctor says I've got to get my affairs in order. This is it. And it was. And he was gone 3 months later. And so this year I'm planting Gary's tomatoes. There's a couple that are named for him. I'm also planting some tomatoes that he offered from a friend of mine from Monroeville who passed away, Carl Aker. Carl Aker has 2 different tomatoes in the Tomato Fest catalog. One is Acres Plum, and the other one is Acres West Virginia. And one of the reasons I'm bringing that up is that yesterday, a friend of Carl's came to see me, and Carl used to call into the show, and I went to his garden 2 or 3 times, and a friend came to the home show, and we were talking about Carl Aker, and I told him, because he doesn't start tomatoes from seed, I'm like, you've got to grow the Carl Aker seeds. You knew Carl Aker. I knew Carl Aker. We have to grow these things. So I told him to give me a call when the time's right, and I'll get him a couple plants because I'm going to, I'll start 10 or 15 of each one. But it's just as a memory to Gary. I'll plant those. I'll plant those seeds, the different ones of his that have his name on them, or some other things from Tomato Fest. Tomato Fest at one point was offering 650 different types of heirloom seeds, tomato seeds, and now it's down to about 400. But his wife, Dagma, who that's who he was talking about in that early morning phone call, she's continuing with the business, which is so sweet, and keeping his dream of offering these unique, different tomato plants. When you go down this rabbit hole, you want something like that. You want something different. You want something cool. And I guess the lesson is, it's not about favorites. It's about finding your own favorite. It's about growing things that have a special meaning. And any tomato that you throw out there, it's gonna be a great tomato. You can't go wrong with it. And so we're starting our tomato seeds now. You can find all about that stuff at DougOster.com and also about all the other things that I've been talking about here. Remember, organic gardeners, you make our world brighter and safer with each seed you sow and every garden you grow. Come see me at the Home Show 1:30 and 4:30 today.
There he goes. Doug Oster, stay with us. Frank Dentisi is next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical in the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
With multiple locations throughout the region, relief from peripheral neuropathy has never been more accessible. Tri-State Neuropathy Center's team of chiropractic physicians have successfully helped over 15,000 patients regain their comfort, mobility, and quality of life with Tri-State's effective treatment programs that utilize the most powerful technology available. No drugs, non-invasive, painless, and FDA approved. Dr. Sean Ritchie of Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is hosting free educational peripheral neuropathy seminars this month in Monroeville and Wexford.
Join us for a free peripheral neuropathy seminar and learn how our most advanced treatment program that has helped thousands can help you.
Reservations are required and seating is limited, so reserve your spot today. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000 or go to marydanston.com. Attend one of these free seminars and learn how neuropathy sufferers are getting relief. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
I'm feeling the taste of a chocolate-covered peanut butter egg, potato chip egg, caramel pecan egg. Oh, wait, maybe a fruit and nut egg. Now that I have your attention, hi, it's Nan Cohen for Dorothy's Candies. When it comes to the Easter holiday, it has to be Dorothy's. Visit the store in White Oak, shop online at dorothyscandies.com, or call 412-678-2723. One bite and you'll know it's Dorothy's Candies. dorothyscandies.com.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
It's your captain speaking. To the passenger with the MiraFast soft chews, smart move.
No way am I letting travel constipation ruin this trip.
Can't blame you. MiraFast works fast, but without the harsh side effects.
Since I'm such a smart traveler, can I move to first class?
No. Close the curtain, Carol.
From the makers of Miralax, new MiraFast soft chews work naturally with your body in as little as 30 minutes to give you a comfortable go on the go. Find Mirafast today at your local retailer. Use as directed for occasional constipation. Contains magnesium hydroxide.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Right now, the Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township and Potter Township, that's in Beaver County. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station. Thus, residents should boil water for 1 minute, let it cool before using. No word on when the boil water advisory will be lifted. Well, Pittsburgh Regional Transit Police investigating after a person was shot while on a PRT bus Saturday afternoon. PRT says the incident happened just before 5 o'clock on a P1 bus near the Homewood Station on the East Busway. Police say 2 juveniles who may have been responsible for the shooting got off the bus at the Homewood Station stop and then fled. The person who was shot was taken to the hospital in critical condition. No other injuries were reported. East Busway was temporarily closed Saturday evening. It has since reopened. Well, Duquesne Light says they've called in crews from places like Florida and even Ontario, Canada, to help with the restoration of power in the Pittsburgh area after Friday's high winds knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. Duquesne Light's Operations Director Matt Nystuen said over 500 mutual aid trucks have come in or are on their way to help with the power restoration.
I think that's one of the things that we took away from last year's storm was if we need help, we're going to call help. We're going to call them in as quickly as we can, and we're going to call in as many of them as we can.
Audio courtesy of KDKA TV. Right now, Duquesne Light says 28,000 customers still without power in Allegheny County, another 3,000 without power in Beaver County. As for West Penn Power, they're reporting about 2,000 customers still without power in Allegheny County, 3,100 without power in Washington County, 4,300 without power in Westmoreland, 2,900 customers still without power in Butler County. KDKA Radio News Time is 8:02. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623. 800-499-6623.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a cloudy, windier, and warmer second half of the weekend with a high of 69, leading to the risk for a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. Watch for showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow, then afternoon snow showers as a high of 63 early gives way to upper 30s, then snow showers on Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. This is the Coons Cooking Hour. The crew from Coons Market are here. It's the great food you grew up with and the recipes that make Pittsburgh someplace special.
Oh, man, we got a busy day. We're still not done. Coming up next time, my man Carlos, his fingers, sparks are flying off his fingers, sending me text messages. He really can't wait to get on the air to talk about all of the storm-related news when it comes to trees. We've been talking about him all weekend long. He's been out with his crew. It's been absolutely incredibly crazy, has it not, with this power issue. But Duquesne Light and others working hard to get everything up and running again. Now, don't forget, we're talking chili today. If you think you know your best recipe when it comes to chili that might impress, you need to give us a call, 866-391-1020, and you may take home a $25 gift certificate. But everybody, even grocery stores, can be affected by power. And, you know, one of the very first memories I have of your dad, Frank Dentisi, was when the old McKnight Road store, your dad would always call me when the power would go out because I think he thought I had like a hotline to Duquesne Light. And I think I ended up doing it because I was able to get the power on in a couple of your stores because of the good people at Duquesne Light. But just talk about when the power goes out, why generators are such a big deal now in your industry. But the grocery industry and those perishables, it can get really frightening, can it not? Good morning.
Yeah, imagine if you had, 200 refrigerators in your house, how worried you'd be when the power goes out. We stock up for the weekend, so that's usually Friday, Saturday. Those are our heaviest days on, with product coming in, especially Friday. We bring a lot in, to get you through Saturday and Sunday. And that's, again, it's a heavy stock. And, whenever a power outage, you do everything you can to keep things going. We have our Ingomar store, which has a complete store generator. So if the power goes out, that store doesn't even notice. The power stays on all the coolers and everything. But the rest of them, we're running lights and all that. You can't have, it's hard to do with a big generator like that. That one at Ingomar runs on diesel. So, maintaining it and all this. So we do what we can. And then we're checking temperatures continuously, making sure that, when something's out of temperature, it's in that danger zone. Now it's got to go. We don't take that risk and try to guess on anything. So whenever you're shopping today after the power's been out, you'll see the shelves will be lower. But rest assured, what's out there has all been checked, temp to make sure it's okay. We always put a call into the health department, Allegheny County Health Department, to let them know the power's been out. We let them know when the power's been on, as a double check too for ourselves. If they think there's a risk, come on out. Let us know if you see a risk as well. So we're always double checking to make sure that we're in good shape. And we do give a good shout out to Duquesne Light and the Penn Powers out there, those workers that are out there. I see them night and day. No matter what time you go out, there's going to be one of those trucks out there, always making sure. I mean, we make the power's out. But when you saw that wind coming through, it's amazing that you got the power back on in hours instead of days and a week. If it wasn't for those workers out there. So God bless and thank you for your hard work out there, keeping everything going.
All right, listen, we have a lot to get to. We're going to focus on chili today. I could use a little comfort. It's been a busy week, and that's great comfort food. Still going to be a little chilly at the end of the week, no pun intended. Some snow headed our way. So if you have a chili recipe, give us a call, 866-391-1020. We'll draw some lucky listener's name at the end of the hour. Take home a $25 gift certificate. Now, we are doing these live podcasts, if you will, streaming on Fridays, Fabulous Fish Fry Friday, and thousands of people have been viewing them. And this week, I'm going to be at Ingomar, and then we'll be back at Hopewell on the 26th. And this past week, we were at the McKnight Road store, and being that it was St. Patrick's Day, that theme heading into the weekend, the parade, and of course the holiday Tuesday, I shared some St. Patrick's Day recipes with the audience, but I'm going to share some with Frank now, and we'll get his thoughts, because we have everything down to the best Idaho potatoes you'll find anywhere right now, available for green cabbage and more, and in those cafes, McKnight Road, Banksville Road, Murphy's Irish Stout, Guinness. We've got it all for you. But I want to go over some of these recipes with Frank to kind of get you in that St. Patrick's Day frame of mind. But when I think St. Patrick's Day, Frank, I think corned beef and cabbage. It's the quintessential Irish dish, and it's been Americanized, but it is all Irish and perfect for St. Patrick's Day, is it not?
It is corned beef and cabbage. We have Grobel's corned beef that we put on our ads. We carry it all the time. It's an excellent corned beef. The flats or the points. The points are a little bit fattier. They're really good for smoking and slow cooked as well. If you're looking for that extra flavor, of course the flats are going to be leaner, but you're going to give up some of that toughness. So you got to go and slow roast them pretty well to get that tenderness in them, and just loading it up with cabbage and my deli guy, and we're talking about haluski, those kind of things. Well, we had an item, I think it's still in the ad this week. So we have Irish bangers with mashed potatoes, and I didn't know what. I had to ask Clinton this. What's the difference between the Irish bangers and just a regular sausage? Because that's what an Irish banger is, just a sausage. And he said breadcrumbs. They put breadcrumbs in it. So it's a country sausage with breadcrumbs. We put onion gravy on it. So it's a beef-based gravy with the onions, sautéed onions inside of it, and then with those mashed potatoes. And I picked some up from our Hopewell store on Thursday. Just double-check everything's good. They're making them right and everything. Oh, my goodness, were they delicious. They were absolutely delicious. So that's an item that's definitely going to stay after, all the St. Patrick's Day. That's something that's going to stick around because that's a really good product. And, those kind of things for St. Patrick's Day. But you can't forget beer. You can't, bring out the Guinness.
Look, even Iron City, it doesn't matter. You got to have a beer for St. Patrick's Day.
You have to. That's a lot of potatoes to eat without
Get
beers.
Get some green food coloring at Coons Market. Make your own green beer. Yeah, Guinness beef stew, something we talked about, a hearty stew using a stout or to create that rich, savory broth. But here's the classic, and your dad and I used to have so much fun with this, and he just couldn't believe that I was hearing it for the first time when we talked about it decades ago. I only remember Winston Churchill, the great Prime Minister of England, the UK during World War II. That's the first time I ever heard anybody who would ever eat a shepherd's pie, because I always catch the other connotations until I found out ground lamb or beef topped with creamy mashed potatoes. So talk shepherd's pie, Frank.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. So I always compare it to our rincini that we make made at home. So it's almost like it's a meat-based, there's, I know for the rincini, there's the ground beef, the peas, and there's pignoli nuts in it, but it's similar with the ground beef and all that with the shepherd's pie, but then you're topping it with the mashed potatoes. So kind of like, a beef pie, and then instead of putting a crust on like you would for a chicken pot pie, you go and put the mashed potatoes on top. You're going to eat mashed potatoes anyway with a beef, so you might as well put it all together. I guess that's kind of what the thought is, but it's delicious. So shepherd's pie is delicious. We're carrying one this week. Is it like
a pot pie?
We have them in a square, so I have them this week in our deli department. They're $10.99 each. It's a pound and a half, and it's just a portion really for two, because that's a lot of beef, a lot of mashed potatoes. So think of what like Manwich comes out like. The pie, the stuff on the inside is going to be that beef and the onions and the peas, and your mix there. So ground beef like that, and then putting the mashed potatoes on top. You can use a piping. You can just put them on and spread them with a spoon. Bake it off in the oven. The ingredients, you cook them ahead of time, and then you put it in the oven to heat it up, and so everything melts together. Just gets kind of that flavors all tied together there and tastes pretty good. I like a shepherd's pie. Now it's gonna put you. It's gonna make you tired. Like that's a good comfort meal. That's gonna make you tired.
And take a nap.
Take a nap, because that's a very hearty dish. It's more hearty than it looks sometimes.
All right, listen, I want to remind everyone, coming up next hour, if you have any storm-related issues because of trees that have fallen down or they look as though they're about ready to fall down, Carlos has been up since 6 this morning out with his crews, and he's going to take a little bit of time to spend with us today to give you all the opportunities to phone in and get all of your questions answered and get an appointment set up with them, because their phones and schedule is filling up quickly. It was a crazy weather pattern over the last 72 hours. And also, he's headed to the final day of the Pittsburgh Home Show downtown. Speaking of the Home Show, your sister, the CEO, dropped by the other night. Jody had a great hour with her. But still one of the most popular items at the Home Show, Frank, are kitchen displays. And it's another opportunity for me to tell the folks who are headed down to the Home Show, check out all the great kitchen displays and the appliances and things of that nature. But again, you want to save money, you want to eat healthier, cook at home.
Oh, you'll cut your food bill at bare minimum in half by cooking at home, just bare minimum. And, you can always get meals that are already done. There's a lot of different frozen meals that are out there now. We do a lot of meals in our deli departments, and sandwiches for lunches and that kind of thing. And saving your leftovers as well for lunches. Breakfast, grabbing something that's going to be quick, new granola bar, any of those little quick protein bars together, or just a protein drink, for people that are on the go, or people that are going to cook at home, of course, eggs, bacon, or any of your different oatmeals, different cereals for not just kids, but for everybody. It's still going to, it's going to save you a lot and not have to, like, if you don't know how to cook, there's other options out there that could help you along. And then while you're there, we have magazines up front. There's a lot of different recipes in those magazines. And you pick up a magazine, you pick up some different recipes to try, and sometimes you find something that you really like that becomes a staple. And you can have fun with it. Cook with your significant other, cook with friends, those kind of things. And it's it makes good conversation, and you just kind of start to really enjoy doing that. And enjoy the restaurants. I'm not saying anything against the restaurants. I use them mostly for, if there's times I come home and I'm like, nope, I'm not cooking. I'm going out to eat. Or special occasions, of course, go out to a restaurant and enjoy your time. But to be able to do that 7 days a week is, first of all, it's not healthy for you, and it's just way, way too much money.
I just saw Corey O'Connor on television. I'm going to text him a message. He was at the St. Patrick's Day parade and got a little choked up because I was thinking about his dad and how proud his dad and mom would be. The mayor at the St. Patrick's Day parade, his first mayor as the walking in that parade, St. Patrick's Day parade, really special. That was a nice visual to see early on a Sunday morning, made me smile. All right, we're going to take a break. So let's talk some chili. We'll talk St. Patrick's Day. We'll talk anything with you. And don't forget, all of our stores are open, waiting for you for everything for another wonderful Sunday with the family. But more importantly, St. Patrick's Day and those fabulous Fish Fry Fridays. And we will go live on Facebook this coming Friday at 3 Eastern for those of you watching around the universe, and that'll be at the Ingomar store for those haddock fish sandwiches, walleye, halushki, mac cheese, more pierogies. We've got it all at Coons Market, a Pittsburgh tradition.
Your source for official traffic information. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
For all station contest rules, go to kdkaradio.com/rules.
This is Greg Truzinski of the Original Mattress Factory. OMF is kind of a unicorn in the mattress business. We build every mattress ourselves, right here in town, with quality materials that last. Then, we sell them directly to you, no middleman marking up the price. The result? Better quality mattresses for less money. That combination shouldn't exist, but it does. And you can see it for yourself by stopping by any of our locations around town. Or check us out at originalmattress.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay.
Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
By the way, large heads of green cabbage right now at Coons Market for 39 cents a pound. Perfect for St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Here he is, our man, Chuck in Shaler. Corned beef and chili. You got everything covered today. How are you, bud?
I'm doing good. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
I figure I'd put like a little spin on the chili and make it for St. Patty's Day.
Love it.
The one I had to have my wife help me with one ingredient was I couldn't decide which beer. So I bought Smithwick, Conway, Murphy's, and Guinness. So we both did a taste testing on it.
You left no stone unturned.
That's like that around the world. You know, you get 12 different. There's usually only one that's good.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, they were all good, just completely different tastes.
Yeah.
You know, so I end up using the Smithwicks. I think that was the best one for this recipe. But what I did is I got one of the big foil turkey pans. I put 2 pounds of carrots in there. I had 3-pound corned beef brisket, the flat one, and I put the spice packet that comes with it. Pepper, smoked paprika, and ground mustard is the seasonings I used on it. Then I used 6 onions, halved, 8 red potatoes. I figured the red potatoes would hold up a little bit better. I like Yukon Gold, but they get kind of soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A head of cabbage, I cut into 8 pieces. And 2 cans of Smithwick's beer and 2 containers of beef broth. I let that slow cook for about 3.5 hours. Then I pulled it off, cut everything up, cubed up the corned beef, the potatoes, cut up the cabbage, the carrots. Then I added what else did I do? After I chopped everything up, then I added 2 cans of navy beans, rinsed them, drained them. A large can of sauerkraut. I didn't use the sauerkraut. I just used the juice. Just drizzled that over there. And I topped it off with Swiss cheese. Cover it in foil. Put it back on the grill for about another 3.5 hours. And I tell you what, that was good. Not like eating chili at midnight, but it was good.
That's like melt in your mouth. That sounds really good. Completely different, but good.
I was nervous about making it, but it came out really good.
Yeah, there's some, especially when you make a lot, you're like, uh-oh, what if I hate this? Because even on something like that, you can't make a little. It's impossible.
Oh, no, they fill up the whole turkey pan. I mean, I had 2 Jethro Bodine bowls full of it. It was good. I was surprised I was awake this morning.
You got some left for today?
Oh, there's a lot left.
There you go.
I should drive up to the studio and bring some over.
There you go. There you go. A little bit of corn, a little bit for Rob. That little bit of wake me up juice.
Listen, I'll take the beer. Forget the food. But listen, I must tell you, you amaze me. I'm looking at some of these photos as you're talking to Frank. I mean, this is like, Better Homes and Garden. I mean, this stuff could be like in a national magazine. For doing it on the grill, that's amazing, Chuck.
Well, that's my thing. I enjoy it.
That's the way it is. If you enjoy it, it's not work. It's fun. It's a good hobby to have too.
Love it.
But I got the. You still got like another 30 seconds or so, Rob. I got to tell you something funny.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, my boy Danny. He's a retired UPS driver. He moved out to Arizona. He never wants to see snow or cold again. Actually, it's 100 degrees out there right now. But he is my biggest food critic. If I send him a picture of this, I wouldn't feed that pig's left to my dog if he was starving to death. So last Sunday, he texted me about 9:15. He goes, "Are you going to be on Coons this week?" I said, yeah, you goof. I said, I was on an hour ago. It's daylight savings time. Because they're not on daylight savings time, but he forgot about it.
Yeah.
So we're usually 2 hours ahead of him, but with daylight savings time, it's 3 hours ahead. He goes, I was sitting here for half hour listening like a goof, waiting for the tunes to come on, and it's already over. I was cracking up.
That's what he gets.
That's what he gets. All right, Chuck. Listen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No. Finish your thought. Go.
Oh, he always texts me. He says, I don't get up early so you can screw up your recipe. I said, don't lie to me. I said, you're old. You got to get up and go to the bathroom anyways. I said, flush the toilet and put the seat back down so your wife don't holler at you.
Now, do you usually cook on Sunday special, or basically carry it over from what you did for the Coons Cooking Hour?
Oh, I cook every day that I can. This depends on what time I get home.
Now, will you cook something special on Sundays, like today?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to make. I might make a turkey breast. I have a turkey breast. I load it up. I have turkey breast. I have pork chops. I got chicken. I haven't made up my mind. Whatever the wife wants, I'll make it.
I love it. All right, listen, keep up the great work, buddy. We appreciate you, and you're getting close to retirement. Just get to the finish line, okay?
I'm working on it. Thank you, guys. I enjoy the show, and I enjoy calling in, but I also enjoy all the other recipes. Some really good callers that call in here every week.
Well, we appreciate you. You're what make the show. You know, we talked about it for years, and it still kind of floats around in my mind because of that Christmas cookie cookbook that I did back in, 87, that sold like 80,000 copies, and all the money went to Children's Hospital. I would love, and it did, it sold 80,000 copies, and I remember that number like it was yesterday when we hit 80,000. But wouldn't it be nice to be able to do something just from our listeners, some sort of cookbook? Wouldn't that be great, Frank?
Yeah, I think we should put something together, and then the people like a Chuck here or something like that, putting together a section for grilling, putting a section in for different things. And I mean, we have plenty of documentation back to how many, all the different recipes. We have all those copies, and just have to reach back out to the people if you publish. But other than that, I don't see why not, start, because people are calling in to share those recipes. These are recipes people have pride over, things that have been handed down for generations. A lot of them have been, or, a Chuck that's looking for innovations, and he's looking for something that he enjoys instead of being stuck inside in a kitchen, because he's driving all the time. Basically, he wants to be outside, relaxed at the grill and cooking on his pace. And coming up with new things in different ways and making it a challenge. How can I make this on the grill?
All right, short break. Coming back, we've got Diane in Valencia. We've got Janet in Hopewell. I'd love to hear from you. Chili recipes on KDKA's Coons Cooking Hour on KDKA.
Is there constantly someone in the family fighting a cold? Fight back with Sniper, a hospital-grade disinfectant that kills viruses and bacteria, and it won't hurt your skin, your pets, or our environment. Hi, this is Larry Richard. Get Sniper. It's safe to use in your home and office. Simply spray and walk away to kill germs for maximum protection. Pick up a bottle of Sniper at your local True Value store or visit disinfectwithsniper.com. Get it now.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Pittsburgh is on the clock. Our comprehensive draft coverage is powered by Bowser Chevrolet. It's more than just the players. It's the vibe of the city. Where to go? What to do? we have you covered. It's presented by Target Freight Management and brought to you by your local AAA travel office and by Groundworks, formerly Baker's Waterproofing, on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 44 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 8:30. I'm Rob Taylor. Duquesne Light says they've called in crews from Florida, even Canada, to help with the restoration of power in the Pittsburgh area after Friday's high winds knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. Duquesne Light's operations director, Matt Nystuen, says over 500 mutual aid trucks have come in or are on their way to town to help with the power restoration.
I think that's one of the things that we took away from last year's storm was if we need help, we're going to call help. We're going to call them in as quickly as we can, and we're going to call in as many of them as we can.
And the updated numbers right now, Duquesne Light saying that there are about 26,000 customers still without power in Allegheny County, 3,000 customers without power in Beaver County. West Penn Power is saying that there are about 2,000 customers in Allegheny County still without power this morning, 3,100 without power in Washington County, about 4,000 without power in Westmoreland County, and 2,900 customers still without power in Butler County. Well, the Pentagon has released the identities of all 6 victims of the U.S. refueling aircraft that crashed in Iraq. Here's CBS News correspondent Shauna Mazzella with more on one of the families that are speaking out.
The incident's still under investigation, and the pain still fresh for family members of 28-year-old Sergeant Tyler Simmons in Columbus, Ohio.
It hurts more than anything.
Simmons was a boom operator, responsible for refueling fighter jets mid-flight.
Tyler was, Mom, I'm doing this. I understand the risk, and I know this is what it's going to take. I know I could lose my life. He said, but this is what I want to do.
Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township and Potter Township in Beaver County. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station, so residents should boil water for 1 minute and let it cool before using. No word on when that boil water advisory will be lifted. KDK Radio News Time is 8:32. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up next.
Larry Richard for Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. Refresh your home with beautiful custom window treatments made in Lachina's Pittsburgh factory. No middlemen, just unbeatable factory direct prices. Save on blinds, shades, shutters, and more. Professionally measured and installed by Lachina. Call 412-665-4900 or go to lachinadrapery.com to schedule a free shop at home appointment or visit one of Lachina's 2 showrooms. Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory. The quality you deserve, prices you'll appreciate.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks to be cloudy, warmer, and increasingly windy with a high reaching 69 later, followed by a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. But showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow give way to afternoon snow showers with an early high of 63, then temperatures ending up in the upper 30s with snow showers Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following program is paid for by Coons Quality Market. The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's get right to the phones. 866-391-1020. Here's Diane in Valencia. Diane, how are you?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Fantastic. How about the two of you this morning?
Good.
Great. Yeah, I think you guys ought to change your titles to Weathermen, because this segment is perfect for the week ahead that we have with all this wacky weather and the temperatures dipping, unfortunately, back again. But, yeah, a friend of mine made me this homemade vegetarian veggie chili recipe recently. And when my husband took a taste of it, he's like, wow, that's really good. And I said, yeah, not bad for a bunch of vegetables. And he just stood back. He couldn't believe it. And I don't know about you, but there's always somebody in my house on Fridays, even though we're supposed to be non-meat, they're like, oh, I could really go for a hamburger or something. This suffices that, along with the great veggie burgers and the varieties you guys carry in the freezer section. And along with this week, you guys have most of the items that are needed for this, along with the pinto beans even, and the kidney beans. So, you know, you need about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a medium red onion chopped, a large red bell pepper chopped, 2 medium carrots chopped, 2 ribs of celery chopped, some salt, 4 cloves of garlic pressed or minced, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, and you guys have the most convenient chili powder packets on sale this week, 2 teaspoons of ground cumin. Chuck had mentioned in his recipe about the smoked paprika. A lot of people don't like to buy it, but hey, if you do his recipe and mine, you've got double duty. You'll need 1.5 teaspoons of that. If you don't, I've also used that liquid smoke flavor with regular paprika to give it that flavor. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. You're going to need 1 large can and 2 smaller cans of diced tomatoes with their juices, 2 cans of black beans rinsed and drained, a can of pinto beans rinsed and drained, 2 cups of vegetable broth or water, a bay leaf, 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh cilantro for garnishing. And you're going to, in a Dutch oven, if you have it, or a large pot, go and saute your vegetables until they're about 7 to 10 minutes. And I will also say that the portobello mushrooms that you have on sale this week, chop those up into whatever sizes that you like. Doesn't have to be minced, but sort of thumbnail sizes. And that will give you that fake sense that you've got meat in it. Then you're going to add in your garlic, chili powder, cumin, paprika, oregano. Cook while that's fragrant for about a minute, and then start to add in your tomatoes and your beans. Let that simmer for about 30 minutes, and make sure you discard the bay leaf. And at the end, top it off with cilantro, some sour cream, some cracked apart chips, and you've got a great meal that's going to keep you warm and going this week.
No, that's great. You know, hopefully this is the last of this cold swing stuff. You know,
Amen.
They give you a taste of spring and summer, and you just want to, yes, let's stick with this. You know, I just see Pirates come up on TV. See, that even the TV agrees. We need some warm weather to stay that way.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, I see high 50s after this cold streak, and hopefully it stays.
Yeah, that gives us a good excuse to make these great recipes,
and hey,
whatever leftovers freeze for another day.
Yeah, since we have to deal with the cold weather, let's enjoy a nice cup of that chili.
Absolutely.
All right,
thank you,
Diane. Good stuff. Thank you. Let's go to Janet in Hopewell. Good morning, Janet. You're on the Coons Cooking Hour.
Good morning. How's everybody today?
Oh, just wonderful.
My recipe is called chili pizza, and you need to try it because the flavor is very unique, but it's really, really good. So what I do is I take 2 pounds of ground beef, and then I get a pound of hot Italian sausage, and then in a frying pan, I brown that with a large onion chopped up, a large green pepper, and about 4 garlic cloves. And then what I do is once that's browned, I add in a jar of salsa, usually like 16 ounces, a can of hot chili beans, a can of kidney beans, and then I add a can of pizza sauce. I add 1 package of pepperoni. My kids like the chunk pepperoni, but you could get the half half pepperoni also if you like, and then a cup of water, and then just your seasonings, 2 teaspoons chili powder, about a half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon pepper, and then you could do it in the roaster pan, put everything in a roaster pan, or you could do it right on the oven if you like. But then once it's done, get some mozzarella cheese, and I usually make some garlic bread also. It is the best thing ever. My kids love it, and when a friend of mine told me the recipe, I thought, oh my goodness, this is really different, but it is really, really good.
No, it just sounds really good and something a little bit different, you know?
Yes. And I want to thank you for the cabbage, telling me about the cabbage. I'm going to be making some halushki with dumplings this week, and I'm going to run over and get some cabbage today, a couple of heads of cabbage to be ready for that.
That was a great plan. Where else are you going to find something for 39 cents a pound?
Oh, I know.
That's unheard of.
I know. And I'm going to try the old-fashioned halushki with the dumplings. Usually, you use the noodles, but
I've always had it with
usually have the dumplings. And it's a little harder, a little longer, but it's more authentic. So
well, sometimes it pays off. That extra little work, people notice that. So, good.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, Janet, appreciate the call. We're talking chili recipes. For some reason, we are fascinated by hot things. I mean, you've got it everywhere. People just want to get the flame-throwing taste on their taste buds. I don't like chili with too much spice.
Oh, I still want to be able to taste my food. So when it's so hot that, I guess it's good for the dairy industry. You drink a whole lot of milk after eating that hot. But it ain't so good on the stomach later on. And also, it's just, and you can't taste anything afterwards. So I don't like too hot just because it covers up the flavor. Spice is good, but you want to taste, if you just wanted to taste the heat, just drink a bottle of hot sauce. I like to have that enhance the flavor of the food. And I always work on that with spices anyway. I want to be able to taste this, it works with the food. You taste the spice, but it's not overpowering the spice, and sometimes we get a little too heavy-handed on things and all you taste is the spice, and it's not the best way to go. I like, especially with chili, when you go to make it way too hot. Now, unless you have some kind of prank you're playing on somebody, yeah, go ahead. But when it's too hot, it's just you just can't eat it. But there are things you can do, like if you make it too spicy, you can always come back and add some sugar into it, or a little bit of something like that to back off that hot flavor, or something like more cheese would help out a little bit. After you make it, just put a lot of cheese on top, or serve it with some nice cornbread, something to kind of ease the palate after that, because that heat can really start to bug you. I mean, there's a reason why these wing places, when they give you those extra atomic wings, why they make you sign a release. I mean, they could physically hurt you. So, and be careful what you do.
I don't see the fascination with that. Why are people? I mean,
it's a challenge. Guys come up with everything's a competition. So it's a competition. It's a sense of, well, you can't dare me not to do that. I'm going to do that. So I think that's where a lot of it comes. But some of them too, when you're used to eating those spices, your taste buds are used to eating it. If they eat a regular hot, it's not going to taste hot at all to them. So that, everyone's taste buds are a little bit different anyway. I know just growing up, as I've gotten older, my tastes have changed, but with that heat, sometimes you get so used to the hot that you need more spice to it. And then I give you some of that and you're not going to like it because it's going to be way too hot for you. Depends on your body and what you like. I know my preference is I want to be able to taste the food and the other food I'm having with it.
What's good pairings with chili? I mean, the crackers, the bread, but is there anything you compare with chili at all, or is that a one-dish meal or one bowl meal?
It's pretty hearty. If you're only having a little bit, it pairs good with a nice sandwich or something like that, a grilled sandwich, or those kind of things. But if you're having a bowl of chili, it's usually when I'm having it, it's going to be a bowl of chili, and that's going to be just about all I'm going to have with it. I might have some bread. Cornbread always pairs well with it. I do like a jalapeno cheddar cornbread. Usually the pickled jalapenos are not that hot, and you add that into the cornbread, and it's pretty good. The corned beef cake, baked, something like that.
Corned beef, cornbread?
Cornbread.
Yeah.
Not corned beef, cornbread.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's a slip of the tongue.
Your mind is all over the place. All right, it's Chili Recipes, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. We're coming back to take more of your calls. If you want a chance to win that $25 gift certificate, now's the time to give us a call on KDKA.
When you need to know, depend on the news leader. At home, in your car, or at work. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, and KDKA-radio.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Many retailers use a computer program to tell you which mattress to buy after answering a few questions. That's not how finding the right mattress works. At OMF, our associates take the time to understand your specific needs. They'll guide you through our showroom, explain the differences between models, and help you select the right mattress. No computers, no gimmicks, just personal attention and quality mattresses built locally. Visit any showroom and experience the OMF difference for yourself.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Hola, amigos! Brad Evans here. Check out this booming voice and Pat Boyle on BetMGM tonight, covering the biggest sports stories from coast to coast, live and interactive on the free Odyssey app, discussing NFL offseason news and getting you ready for the madness in college hoops. BetMGM tonight with me, Brad Evans and Pat Boyle, live and interactive, Monday through Friday night, starting at 6 Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Always live on the free Odyssey app and watch on YouTube at BetMGM tonight.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, one of the things that I've often thought about chili, I mean, I grew up in a large family, so it was the big pot. But how do you know how much to make when it comes to serving chili? Because there's never enough or there's too much. But the good thing about chili, if you have some Tupperware containers, you can freeze and reheat, and it tastes as good, if not better in some cases.
And there's other uses for it, you know.
Taco salads,
dips. I mean, you have a cheese dip, you can put chili into there. Now you have chili con carne. You get, different things. You can put a little bit on a pizza if you're making pizza. You know, there's a lot that you can use for that. Just grabbing some hot dogs, throw some chili on it, depending on, what you did with the chili, how much you put in there, if it'll stay on the hot dog. Because sometimes the ones with beans and all that, so they don't stay on the hot dog so well, but, those kind of things, using it up. There's not really a way to make a little bit of chili just because of how you have to make it. I mean, you're not going to go under a pound of beef and, then you got a can of beans. But then if you want to go with 2 cans of beans or, but you're using all pepper and onion, I mean, you're already up to, and then your tomatoes, you're already up to almost 2 pounds of chili, no matter what you do. Making beyond that, it's really, then you're starting to use half cans of things, and that's just a waste. So you really can't go below a certain amount, but I always just make way too much anyway. But I utilize the freezer. So I have my containers that are ready to go right into the freezer. I throw in the freezer. I mean, I made so much sauce this past November that I have the last container of sauce in the freezer ready to be able to use tomato sauce. So same with chili.
What's the shelf life on that stuff, Frankie? You
can keep it in there. As long as you seal it right, you can go up to a year in the freezer before it starts to break down. You have to make it sure it's sealed so you don't have ice crystals build up. So if you're making like chili itself, get a container where you can fill it all the way to the top, no air gap, and you're good. If you're putting things in bags, just getting that air out as much as possible. A vacuum packer works the best, but even when you're using vacuum packers, I always just worry a little bit. So always make sure that you're cleaning that vacuum packer afterwards. If any food particles go on it and they get in there, then you're trapping food particles from weeks ago into something that's fresh, and you don't want that. So always make sure between what you're making is cleaning them. But all those different things, just making the biggest thing is keeping the air away so that you don't get the ice crystals in there, and then you get that freezer burnt look. So as long as that doesn't happen, you're not ruining the product, and it'll keep for a long time. Now, of course, if you have a lot in there, now you're taking up space in the freezer. You don't have more space, so you got to eventually start using all this. But if you have your regular go-tos or extra coffin freezer down in the chest freezer down in the basement or the garage, to keep backup stuff like that, it helps. And it's all a way of people how they budget things. That's how they do it. That's how you go through. You want to work with as least waste as you can, so you're not wasting products, you're not wasting things, even fresh vegetables, blanching them so that you can freeze them and then be able to cook them later. Those kind of things, those little things will save you a lot from cooking at home, because you could still, cooking at home, you're saving money, but you could still waste a lot if you're not, especially if there's only one or two of you at home. You could end up wasting a lot too. So always making sure you're watching over that
all right,
kind of stuff.
866-391-1020. Let's head out to Penn Hills. Here's Michelle on the Coons Cooking Hour in KDK. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I just made chili a couple of days ago, and I used about a pound of ground meat, brown that off, and then drain it, put it back in the pan, and then I add, just to taste, I put onions, celery, green pepper, red pepper, throw that all in, cook it a little bit to get the onions and the peppers started to cook and the celery. And then I throw in a large can of either diced tomatoes or whole tomatoes chopped up and all the juice that comes with that. Small can of tomato paste and some water. And then I throw in black beans, drained, kidney beans. I just dump in however much chili powder because I'm just used to how much I put in for that amount, and a little bit of garlic and pepper. And I just cooked that down for probably an hour and a half on low, just simmered it. And then usually, I didn't this time because I've been, watching what I'm eating, but corn muffins. I like to make corn muffins with that and put some butter on and eat them while they're hot. It's delicious.
Oh, yeah, corn muffins. I do like a corn muffin.
And there's only two of us, and my husband always says, "Why do you cook so much?" I said, "Well, you have to use a whole can of each of the beans. That adds to it, too,
Yep.
And so I have glass containers, throw it in there, mark it with a sticker or masking tape, and say chili and the date, and throw it in the freezer. So then I have 3 meals out of that.
Yeah, boil up some macaronis, and you throw the chili in, you got mac and beef, and you're ready to go. And
there you go.
And those are for the days where you don't feel like cooking. There's just some times where it's just like, I'm not breaking all this stuff up and having to clean up again. So you break out something from the freezer, heat it up, you're good. And you didn't have to, you had a nice, hearty, healthy meal, and you didn't have to go and out anywhere. You were able to just do it right at home and just relax. Yeah, no work.
Yeah.
And cleanup. And cleanup is like half the cooking battle. It's the cleanup, afterwards.
Right.
I'm a guy. I'm a mess after I'm done cooking. The kitchen looks like a bomb went off.
Right.
I tell my wife, don't go in there until I just tell my wife, don't go in there until way after we eat. And you'll see, it won't even look any different then.
Yeah.
But it's the thought process, and she's obviously figured that out. If you put a little time before you get out the utensils and all the recipes and the ingredients, you can really stretch these into more than one meal, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I like. I mean, I don't mind cooking so much. I just can never figure out what to make. Okay, what are we having today,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it all starts. Sometimes you get in a rut. It's like, I feel like I'm eating the same things over again. But then when you start thinking back, like,
exactly.
No, I really haven't had that chicken for 3 weeks.
Well, I think you.
Thanks a lot for having me.
You bet,
Thank you.
Michelle. I think you figured it out pretty good. And I know a lot of people that actually take Sundays to prepare one big meal, but then they find a way to stretch it into 2 or 3, and then they add a couple at the end of the week, and they got their meals made for the week, and they're done.
I know with me, sometimes it's cooking all week, and then so many leftovers build up, and you put them in the freezer or you leave them fresh for lunches and stuff like that. And, what I end up seeing is that, wow, why do I have some extra money in the bank account, for my spending money? And it's like, well, that's because I had leftovers all week. I didn't have to spend anything eating out when I'm at work. So, you can really physically see it, when you're watching that way too.
Makes sense. All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We're going to draw this week's winner, And then we're going to get ready to talk some storm-related questions when it comes to your trees. And a lot of questions, I'm sure, for Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Services. We continue on our Sunday. It is your Pratt Pack at KDK, and for everything on the latest when it comes to the power outages, Duquesne Light, Penn Power working hard to get everybody ramped up again. Rob Taylor will be here in just a couple of minutes with that 9 o'clock news.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical in the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Embark on an unforgettable journey through Japan and South Korea with AAA, April 3rd through the 12th, 2027. Sail 9 incredible nights aboard the boutique luxury ship Azamara Pursuit. Enjoy immersive overnights and extended time in port. Experience samurai towns, bonsai gardens, and incredible cuisine. Relax with fine dining, premium beverages, and shipboard gratuities included. Club Veranda staterooms start at $4,569 per person, double occupancy. Visit your local AAA branch or call 1-800-354-8761 today.
Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist Dan Vitchoff of the PA Hypnosis Center is here to help you. He has helped train U.S. Olympic team members control their brains, stay relaxed, focused, and in control, giving them the edge for the gold. He's recognized by many organizations around the world as one of the top hypnotherapists anywhere. He has gotten over 3,000 people to give up cigarettes for good in the last 22 years. He's helped folks even who've tried gastric bypass to lose weight. He can help you and give you a 98% success guarantee. Call 724-934-8446. That's Dan Vitchoff, the PA Hypnosis Center. Mention KDKA and get $50 off any program. But call for a free consultation today, 724-934-8446. The PA Hypnosis Center with Dan Vitchoff. Make that call today, 724-934-8446.
When a medical injury, misdiagnosis, or neglect in a nursing home turns your life upside down, your family deserves attorneys with decades of complex trial experience. At Massa Law Group, local Pittsburgh attorneys concentrate their practice to helping medical and nursing home injury victims. Their team listens, lays out your options clearly, and will pursue the justice your family deserves. Licensed in PA, Ohio, and West Virginia, visit massalawgroup.com or call 412-338-1800.
Larry Richard for CertaPro Painters. I've been a customer for over a decade. Why? Because the professional work CertaPro Painters does protects your home, quality paint, worry-free process, free estimates. That's why I've relied on CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in our community. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
On Thursday, April 9th, join Center for Victims for our 50-year gala, Lighting Candles in the Darkness. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Reserve your ticket today. centerforvictims.org.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. Covered by JP Roofing and Siding. Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company. Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The diet can continue Monday. This is the Coons Cooking Hour on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, just about time to let Frank head home for his Sunday Fun Day, and you and I will continue after the news at 9 talking to Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. So we're going to open the phones up right now. If you have any storm-related questions you want to get in here for Carlos, plus he's going to talk about misconceptions when it comes to your homeowner's insurance if you're dealing with a tree hanging off your roof or gutters, okay? So that's all coming up in just a couple of minutes, and Rob will have the latest as far as the power outages are concerned and everything you need to know as we continue to try to get ramped up after those tropical-like winds that swept through this area over the last 72 hours. Okay, today, Chile, the topic of conversation, and this week's winner of a $25 gift certificate is...
This week's winner is Michelle from Penn Hills.
Congratulations to Michelle from Penn Hills. Wins a $25 gift certificate. Please, Frankie, remind him about our fabulous Fish Fry Friday, which I will be live on Facebook at 3 Eastern at the Ingomar store this week. Go ahead.
Yeah, every Friday through Lent and every Friday through the entire year, we make batter-dipped haddock sandwiches, and they are big. You know, you're going to have, unless we bend it over, we fold them a little bit because they don't fit in the container. So making sure you can get those at every store. We do it until the minimum 6:30. We go further if the business allows. But again, all the different sides that go with it, the meatless sides, the haluskis, the mac and cheese, pierogies, anything you want.
Always good to see you. We'll see you next week. Great job, Frankie. Stay tuned. News 9. And then Carlos, all storm-related questions about your trees. You need help. This is the way you go about it. 866-391-1020. Call now.
The preceding program was paid for by Coons Quality Market.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 47 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 9 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township along with Potter Township in Beaver County. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station, and therefore residents should boil the water for 1 minute and let it cool before using. And right now, no word on when that boil water advisory will be lifted. Pittsburgh Regional Transit Police investigating after a person was shot while on a PRT bus Saturday afternoon. It happened near the Homewood Station on the East Busway on a P1 bus around 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. Police say there were 2 juveniles who may have been responsible for the shooting who got off the bus at the Homewood Station and then fled. The person who was shot was taken to the hospital in critical condition. No other injuries were reported. East Busway was temporarily closed Saturday evening. It has since reopened. Well, Duquesne Light says they've called in crews for places like Florida, even Ontario, Canada, to help with getting the power back on in the Pittsburgh area after Friday's high winds knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. Duquesne Light's operations director is Matt Nystein, who said in all, over 500 mutual aid trucks have come in or are on their way to town to help with the power restoration.
I think that's one of the things that we took away from last year's storm was if we need help, we're going to call help. We're going to call them in as quickly as we can, and we're going to call in as many of them as we can.
And as we take a look at the updated numbers, Duquesne Light says right now there are about 26,000 customers in Allegheny County still without power this morning, 3,000 customers in Beaver County without power. As for West Penn Power, the updated numbers show about 2,200 customers still without power in Allegheny County. In Butler County, it's about 2,900 customers still waiting to have their lights on. And in Westmoreland County, about 4,000 customers still without power, 2,700 without power in Washington County. Once again, those are the West Penn Power numbers as of 9 o'clock this morning. KDKA Radio News Time is 9:03. We have the AccuWeather forecast coming up.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today brings a cloudy, windier, and warmer second half of the weekend with a high of 69, leading to the risk for a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. Watch for showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow, then afternoon snow showers as a high of 63 early gives way to upper 30s, then snow showers on Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
These are the people, the movers and shakers, the businesses, the people you know in your community who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, bi-monthly visit. It's time, and what a perfect time for Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. He's been up before the sun came up, working hard. His crew, I know an individual that he actually went to his house. It was an emergency yesterday, and they were out there doing what they do best, helping so many people. But there's so many angles to look at what we've gone through in the last 72 hours with these incredible winds that have brought power lines down, trees, branches, and massive trees. We actually lost a 40-foot evergreen right here adjacent to our studios in Green Tree, Pennsylvania. So we're going to talk to Carlos about what's going on, what you need to know, but more importantly, you can call us with all of your questions at 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. So if you're dealing with something right now, like a tree hanging off your house and you need some information ASAP, we're going to also give you the office number where you can leave your name and number. They will get back to you. They're in emergency mode right now, but that schedule is filling up quickly, as you can imagine. So we'll give you that number in a moment, but the number right now to get all of your questions and information answered in real time, 866-391-1020. But Carlos just sent me a note in the last hour that is so appropriate that we're going to get to it to begin the program. And really, I think before you get a hold of that homeowner's insurance, this is the guy that you need to talk to, because he understands the rules of the road, and he wants to make sure that your insurance company is on the right road to recovery for your home and your belongings. So misconceptions when it comes to homeowners insurance. Carlos, good morning, and let's begin there.
Good morning, and thanks for setting everything up. That was great. And so a lot of people, the claims are first time for them, and they're not sure of that process and where they stand and who's responsible. Was it the neighbor's tree? Was it your tree? Is there damage to your home? Did the tree just fall in your yard? Did it hit something on your property that your insurance company considers coverage B, which is anything detached from your home, a shed, a garage, pool, deck, things like that. Coverage A is your main dwelling, and they'll cover up to the value of your home if there's a big claim on it. What people don't understand is they get these insurance companies calling them, and they got a tree through their house, and the 800 number person is telling them, well, go out and get 3 prices and get back to us. And they're like, well, wait a minute, I have a tree through my living room. It's hard enough to get one guy out. And that's one of the misconceptions. You don't work for the insurance company. You don't have to go to bat for them and call 3 different companies, and they're just going to tell you to go with the cheapest. And a lot of times you end up with a guy that doesn't even have the proper insurance to do the work on your property. So in that article, we actually send that to every storm call before we go out on it and encourage the homeowner to read it. Learn the terminology in your policy, learn triggering event, learn indemnification, learn living in peril. All these things, when you speak their language, it kind of turns out a little bit more in your favor, and it helps the process along. And then after we get the tree off the house, then what do? You got a hole in your roof. So we patch our customers through to one of 3 of the major disaster restoration companies. They come out right after we get that tree off the roof, off the house. They come out, and the first thing is they tarp your roof. And then they take over from there. They deal directly with your homeowner's insurance, billing them for the repairs. So it becomes as seamless as a process as possible for you, Johnny homeowner, when you call us and start that ball rolling.
I got to tell you, I just wish people would take one moment, because as I noticed the winds were starting to pick up and they became much more brisk than I have really remembered in recent years, maybe last summer when we had some of those microbursts, but I think this was even more consistent and even more frightening. People were out and about, and I was kind of like thinking, do people realize how dangerous and how huge trees like this giant evergreen here in Green Tree in our studio parking lot, how quickly these things can come down? One thing you don't want to do is be outside running around when these winds, as they were, are out and running and rampant as they were, because it can go from just what seems to be, hey, kind of fun Wizard of Oz-like to deadly. Right, Carlos?
Yes, I mean, that was something I really haven't seen in our area. That was sustained winds for, 12 to 16 hours, right a notch below what they considered hurricane force winds. They were calling this tropical storm force winds, which usually are hitting areas along the coast. And, there's not an ocean near us. There's 3 rivers, but no ocean. And to get that sustained wind gusts from 25 to 60 miles an hour is something I never saw before. I remember when Hurricane Sandy hit the East Coast, we did get some outer bands from that storm as far in as Pittsburgh, because that was a superstorm. But this storm here, and then the last storm we had last year in April, which was considered a straight line storm, just came across Allegheny County like a freight train in about maybe a half hour, 45 minutes. The devastation was vast, whereas this one was just constant wind for that amount of time, it was very impressive. I was home. I was scared because I have large trees around my house. And it was frightening. I can imagine how other people felt out there.
All right. So he sent me some pictures earlier, and I just want to bring this up because many people have these trees, but he brings up a very good point. Before and after large silver maple, they get root rot in certain age, and people leave them in their yard, and they are really a disaster waiting to happen, as it was evident in some of those pictures, Carlos.
Yes, they're almost our number one removal, Rob, because they grew too fast. They outgrew their lifespan. They were developed in a laboratory and planted in new homes post-World War II, and since then to provide instant coverage for a new home, instant shade. You know, almost the maples are really fast growers anyways. And this species, it just grew too fast. It outgrows its lifespan. It outgrows its coverage area. It becomes more problematic than beneficial and threatening to your home. That one I sent you a picture of, you know, the people were out at the movies. Thank God that tree came down and hit where their son's bedroom was. And so you get complacent and you're looking out there and you're like, oh, I got a great tree out there and I moved in this house and I love this big tree. And, you know, you got to be aware of which species it is, how your soil is, the condition of the tree, the height, the congestion of the tree, in the interior. There's so many factors. And that's where we come in. When you call us and you get a salesman or Troy, our ISA certified arborist, or myself out there, we can go over all that with you and get ahead of it, because then you open up that Pandora's box like, oh, well, this tree was in a declining state. Is my homeowner's insurance going to cover it? And their answer is, we're maybe not going to cover it, or we're not going to cover it because the tree was in a declining state or dead. They only really like to cover healthy trees that fall and cause damage, and they consider that in your policy, more language in there, an act of God. No one can predict or prevent when a healthy tree is going to get blown over or struck by lightning or weighed down with ice, and they cover those claims no problem. But, you know, when they come out and they look at this large silver maple that's on your house and they could tell it had root rot, this tree had a particular cavity in it about 8 foot up that you could stick your arm down in, and they're going to say, hey, sorry about your luck. You know, you should have addressed this before this happened.
All right, listen, I want to remind everyone, you can call, leave your information. That schedule is filling up quickly. So if you've got some tree issues after those winds and you need his help, they're the best. They're the go-to organization that people lean on in the city of Pittsburgh. They can negotiate and navigate the city of neighborhoods better than anyone. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. He's Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. But if you're out there and you've got a storm-related question, you can get it answered right now. Or if you think you have an issue, you want to get it removed before, hey, I never thought, and just when you least expect, things happen. It's ironic, because I told my audience over and over the last couple of days, Carlos and I were planning ahead for this week, getting ready for that storm season. And literally, as I got the text and was applying it to my notes and to my script for the show, we started to have this incredible wind that never let up for almost 48 hours. So what you need to do, if you have any questions, our number is 866-391-1020. All of our lines are open. You can get some questions answered right now, or you can go right to 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Leave your first and last name and a working number that they can reach you, especially during business hours throughout the week. And we want you to get on the schedule. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. The storm is finally over, but the, damage left behind is significant, and that's why we're here to help. It's your Pratt Package Sunday morning on KDKA.
Your source for the AccuWeather forecast. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Larry Older here. Let me share Brian's story from Alabama, my mom's home state. He tells us after taking Relief Factor for just 3 weeks, at least 90% of my pain is gone. My pain had started to limit me at work and at home, and now I'm amazed at how much relief I've gotten, end of quote. These are Brian's own words, and they speak volumes about what Relief Factor can do for you. I've told you about my buddy Tom, an avid golfer out on the green almost every single day. He says without Relief Factor, he wouldn't be able to swing freely because of shoulder pain or back pain. But since taking it, he said he stayed active, comfortable, and confident in his swing. He is a scratch golfer. That's why I encourage you to try Relief Factor yourself and see what it can do for you. Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF, or go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? 800-4-RELIEF, ReliefFactor.com.
Here's the latest from the KDKA Community Message Board.
Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Berg with 6 Pittsburgh locations, always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New to Rivers Casino? Join now and earn up to $1,000 free slot play. Stop by Rush Rewards on your next visit to start earning today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Happy home improvement season from Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union. Home equity loan rates are as low as 5.25%. For full terms and to see if you qualify, visit AllegiantFCU.org. Membership eligibility required. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Details at KDKA-radio.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
If you dread dealing with your insurance more than getting stuck in an elevator with an overshare,
bean burrito for lunch.
you have Insuranoia. You should have NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
You know, when the wind started to swirl and I kept thinking somebody was knocking on my back door over and over, the first thing I thought of was Carlos. And I know they've been working around the clock, and we're just really happy that he would take a little bit of time to join us today. He's been up very early and working pretty much around the clock with his crew. So if you have a tree-related question, whether it's about the storms or, you know, hey, preparing for what lies ahead, there will be more storms. It's that time of year. Give us a call right now. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Call us, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. All 4 lines available, so you'll get immediate access. And if you have a question or you want to set up an appointment with them directly, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE. That's 8733. So, Carlos, very important on working on your trees before we get a storm, because this won't be the first or the last, but you want to be prepared, correct?
Yes, I mean, this storm happened. The leaves aren't even on the trees yet, which contribute in the spring and late spring, early summer, when we get those storms for trees that are going to come down. And there's a lot that we could come out and do for the trees on your property, and it all starts with giving us a call and getting us out there. We can come out and see, you know, does this tree have potential to hit anything, your house or anything on your insurance policy, coverage A or coverage B, and protect your home, protect your family. And then we kind of go from there and look at the tree, the species, the health of it, where it's at on the property, what's around it. Is it protected by other trees? Is it exposed in the open area of your property and more susceptible to incurring the full force of some winds? So we take all that into consideration, and then we, you know, maybe lead you in the direction where, hey, let's thin this tree out. Let's let it so these high winds can pass through it, so there's not as much resistance. Or depending on what species, again, maybe let's do a reduction. Let's bring the top of the tree down below the wind line so the wind can pass over it and through it. But then also when we come out and we're looking at the tree and we're determining the approximate age of it, and we're letting the customer, the homeowner, know, like, look, this tree is at the shelf life of a yard tree. They don't live forever. They're not out in the forest living 200-300 years old. The shelf life of a yard tree starts at about where it becomes more problematic than beneficial, is about 60 to 70 years old. And there's a lot of those around Pittsburgh. And they were beneficial to the first 1 or 2 homeowners there, the first 20 to 30, 40 years. It was a great tree. It wasn't 80, 90 feet over your house. It wasn't just a huge trunk, you know, where your house looks out at it. There was foliage there. And now what it's done is it's outgrown its coverage area. It's threatening to you, your home, and your family. And if we're not comfortable, like any applications we have with our plant health care or trimming or reducing, we're going to probably recommend that you remove it. And we're not out there to just deplete the area of its tree source. We're out there to kind of educate you, play devil's advocate, well, ultimately, we're going to let you make the decision. You know, we're not going to force you to do anything, but we're going to give you the information and the data and the science behind it and everything we can do to present what you should base your decision on.
So it's really that scientific? You know where the wind line is, Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, we could look like Pittsburgh's so diverse. There's flat, low-lying areas that maybe the wind passes over. There's elevated areas that, you know, every 20 feet of the tree, the wind can be a little bit higher than what you're feeling on the ground. So sometimes you don't think it was a big wind, and you're like, wow, it wasn't even that windy. But 80, 90 feet up in the air, that canopy of the tree is getting a higher gust of wind than you're feeling on the ground. And you might be protected from your home or around there, so you're not getting the full force of that wind, whereas that upper canopy of the tree is really getting hammered on over and over, and it's developing a weakness, and then that right gust of wind just comes and takes it down. So there's so much involved, like with your property, and I've said it before, we come out, we're like, you know, detectives, Inspector Clouseau, and going out there and figuring out, like, the health of the tree, where it's at on the property, testing your soil, looking at maybe some neighboring trees that you say, well, yeah, my neighbor had a big tree come down, and now we know you're in an area that the wind hits hard and has potential to bring your tree down on that next storm.
Listen, before we go to a break, and again, if you have a question for Carlos, storm-related questions or any tree-related question as we head into the season, our number is 866-391-1020, and you can reach them at the office. You can call that number today, leave your information. They'll get back to you. And if you have a storm issue and you need help, call for sure today because their schedule is filling up, especially what we have gone through the last 72 hours. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Are there any more trees more vulnerable with weather like we had over the last 72 hours than others?
Yes, that's a great question. I was trying to figure out that this morning and looking at the trees that have come down and the calls we have gotten. And historically, you know, the shallow-rooted pine trees and anything in that family, they're really prone to coming down because they don't anchor themselves down well. I was just at a call in Bradford Woods, which is a beautiful little area and very heavily populated with trees, and two massive pine trees came down. They were about 120 feet tall. So we do a lot of pine trees in these windstorms. Also, like the picture I sent you of that silver maple, where the age of that tree was close to 70 years old. People pile mulch around these trees for years and years. It creates a lot of moisture that holds, the root system holds in there and develops what's called root rot. So now the root system is rotting out, and when these trees get uprooted or blown over, that we're out there doing, a lot of them have root rot because of what homeowners are doing around their tree where they're not as knowledgeable as they should be. And they're doing more harm than good sometimes and contributing to why these large trees are coming down. And then just the height of some of these trees. You saw all over Facebook, like large oak trees coming down, and they're usually pretty sturdy. And they anchor themselves down in the ground really well. The leaves weren't on the trees, so there wasn't much resistance with the wind, but the height of them, and then you're talking about the area around it. The ground's loose,
right.
The ground's wet. We had so much snow melt. It's like a perfect storm, excuse the pun, on what happened here. We had all that snow. It finally melted. It saturated the ground. It's loose. It's still wet. These 70-mile-an-hour winds come on these 120-foot trees.
And they simply came down. I got to get to a break. The news, bottom of the hour. Again, number to dial to be on the show. Tree-related questions, 866-391-1020 at the office for Carlos. Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Serving Allegheny County for 50 years and supporting survivors of crime, Center for Victims invites you to its Lighting Candles in the Darkness Gala, Thursday, April 9th. It's an evening honoring hope, healing, and resilience. Visit centerforvictims.org.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Y108 presents Odyssey the Night Before, powered by Bowser Chevrolet, starring Jason Aldean.
Hey, what's up, Pittsburgh? I'm Jason Aldean.
With special guests John Morgan and Shane Prophet. Wednesday, April 22nd, inside the Event Center at Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh.
So we have a little bit of fun. Y'all ready?
You can't buy a ticket to this show. You can only win your way in. Full details at y108.com. Presented by Miller Lite and brought to you by your local AAA travel office, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and Broken Bow Records.
From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 48 degrees now, Pittsburgh International at 9:30. I'm Rob Taylor. The Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon and Potter Townships. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station, and residents should boil the water for 1 minute, let it cool before using. No word on when the boil water advisory will be lifted. One person died in a house fire early Saturday morning in Jefferson Hills. That fire broke out at a home on Frontier Drive. Now, the Pleasant Hills Volunteer Fire Company had to temporarily evacuate the home due to a water supply issue. They did return with a better water supply, but the person who died is yet to be identified, and the Allegheny County Fire Marshal is investigating. KDK Radio News Time is 9:31. Next update's at 10. I'm Rob Taylor on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDK.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
When you're at a restaurant, do you let someone who doesn't know you order your food? Why should it be any different when buying a mattress? At the Original Mattress Factory, we believe that choosing a mattress should be a personal experience. That's why our knowledgeable sales associates take the time to understand your needs and preferences to help you find the mattress that's right for you. With our wide range of different feels, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. So don't let someone else tell you what you want. Decide for yourself at the Original Mattress Factory.
Having trouble keeping up with your electric bill? Duquesne Light Company can help customers manage costs through their Customer Assistance Program. Flexible payment plans, budget billing, rebates, and more. Duquesne Light realizes these are difficult times, and they are all committed to supporting our communities. Discover how you can save money and stay comfortable in your home year-round by visiting DuquesneLight.com/assistance. That's DuquesneLight.com/assistance.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwick Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray? And new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor.
Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la. The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Today looks to be cloudy, warmer, and increasingly windy with a high reaching 69 later, followed by a shower for some late tonight and a low of 53. But showers and a heavy thunderstorm early tomorrow give way to afternoon snow showers with an early high of 63, then temperatures ending up in the upper 30s with snow showers Tuesday, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, the aftermath of the winds that we had over the last 72 hours, topic of conversation today. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733, or any general tree questions. And we want to hear from you, too, 866-391-1020. Let's head out to Harmer and say hi to Gene. Gene, good morning. You're on the air with Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. What can we do for you?
Good morning, Rob and Carlos. I have a question. My problem is my neighbor's trees. They're massive pine trees that threaten our house. They would crush our house. And they claim they don't have the money to take them down, but they did have the money to take down the ones that lean toward their house. I went to my homeowner's insurance. They couldn't do anything. The township couldn't do anything, and my state representative couldn't do anything. I feel so helpless. I'm trying to save a problem and save my life potentially, and no one can do anything.
Yes, Gene, I'm sorry to hear all that, and it's a very common occurrence, and that's a tough one because they're not sympathetic. It's probably pretty pricey to come in and cut those big trees down. It's not threatening them. It's a bad way for you to live, to be in constant fear in these storms, and even not in the storms. We get calls on a nice sunny day that a tree falls. Because the wind might have weakened it and gravity and physics finally take over and you're out in your yard and you're not as vigilant on these nice days. But we get calls on those days, too, that a tree comes down. You know, there's a couple things you could do to just maybe cover a little bit of your liability. You can send them a certified letter. You can get us out there and get Troy, our ISA certified arborist. You know, if we can't go on their property, we can kind of, give our opinion. You know, we can't guarantee that they're going to come down, but we could kind of say, hey, the age of these trees are at the shelf life, the height of them, they're catching more wind, they're susceptible to maybe coming down in some upcoming storms. And, so when they do come down or when they come down or if they come down, you've done everything already. You've done a lot. You could do a little bit more on the things that I just mentioned to kind of get ahead of when they do come down that, God forbid, we don't want you to get hurt or anything, but if there's damage to your home, now why should you be responsible for it? And it's always where the tree falls who has to deal with it. Your homeowners would step in as long as the trees are healthy, but then you have a deductible and then they're going to raise your rate when you come up for renewal. And it's, I'm sorry to hear that, Gene. That's an uphill battle for you.
It's an obvious threat. I mean, you don't have to go on the property. They're planted on the property line, and they lean towards my house, and they're massive, probably 90 feet or 2 feet in diameter. But
now you could.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You could go to them and say, "Hey, what if I'm paying for it?" And I know you don't want to pay for it. But we kind of sympathize sometimes on our pricing in these instances. We're a preferred vendor with Dollar Bank. We could get you a 0% interest loan for 12 months if you wanted to go that route and say, or maybe say, hey, can we split it? I'll pay half, you pay half. I've seen you've addressed your trees that have potential to hit your house. You're leaving me hanging. look, I'll even pay half of it. Can you pay half? And where that goes is going to depend on the relationship with that neighbor and how sympathetic they are to your cause.
Gene?
Okay. You said about a certified letter. Like, what should I put in there that that it's an obvious threat, or should I have a lawyer draw that up?
You can do both of those. You could call us and get Troy out there, and his opinion can be a little bit weighted in these circumstances because he is an ISA certified arborist. He can determine things about the trees in the area that you could. He'll give you an assessment. It's a $129 fee, but you're going to get an assessment of these trees to the best of his ability, and being able to forecast things but not guarantee what could happen. We just kind of project what's possible. And then, you can send that assessment from Troy and your certified letter. You can get it drawn up by a lawyer, of course, and get it over to them, and then see where it goes from there.
Yeah, thank you very much. That sounds like a good approach.
All right, Gene, we'll look for your call, and we'll give you the best pricing we can if you end up having to incur the cost.
Yeah, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. All of your questions right now, 866-391-1020. Cindy and Irwin up next for Carlos from Greater Pitt Tree Service. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, guys. I have a couple questions here for you. I come in the middle of the conversation, but my first one is, I had called last year. They said to call back when I was Doug Oster. But I have a white birch tree, and the lanternflies just loved it. And my white birch is now black birch. I have tried everything. I don't want to damage it or kill it. They said call and ask the tree guy. So I was wondering if they knew how to, I know not totally probably remove it or gradually over time, but what would work with that?
We do have an application that we apply to the bottom area of the trees that they're attracted to, and you have to do it, I think, every month or two. I'd have to ask Troy on that. We could get him out there. But we do have an application that he's certified to apply, and it could keep the lanternflies off that particular tree. They're going to be around for a few more years, so you have to weigh out the cost of treating that tree regularly with this application, or maybe just, cutting it down and starting over with something that they're not attracted to. They're like one of the three trees that the lanternflies are gravitating towards. The main tree is the tree of heaven, Atlantis, sumac. They're all kind of the same species. They're actually in like the weed family, and they're smooth bark that they could sit on good, and they emit this sap in the tree that the lanternflies like. They do like some of the maples and the birch. So, if you had to get it out of there, if it's turned black, there's nothing we can do to reverse that.
Okay. So no cleaners of that I could put on there, or like baking soda, something calm or gentle to remove it. I don't want to damage the tree.
Yeah, I don't know. Pittsburghers get creative with things, so you never know. There might be some kind of Yinzer application somebody came up with to get that off. But, I mean, I parked under a tree that had lanternflies on it, and my truck was covered in that black tar, basically. And, yeah, they call it black poop. Yeah, the lanternflies flap their wings really fast, and it emits this, what they're calling black poop. And, if it's on your tree or on your property, then you have to deal with it.
Now, I missed, thank you for that. I don't want to really lose it. So, one, they say the number so fast, and usually I get the pen that doesn't write. Can you tell me your number again real fast?
Yes, 412.
Okay.
884.
Okay.
8733.
Okay. Now, a couple more questions. Do you have an arborist there? You said, I think I just caught at the end there that you do have an arborist comes and looks at things, and I wanted to know what the cost of that would be for another location. Do you go as far as Ligonier?
We would go to Ligonier on some calls. The cost is $129 for Troy to come out and give you like maybe an assessment of the property or assessment of those particular trees. But then when you hire us, we just roll that into the cost of any work we do for you. If you just want them to come out for a written assessment and go over your property, then that's the $129 fee that you would pay. But then, like I said, if you hire us, we roll it into the cost of the job.
Okay, great. Well, thank you guys for all your help. I enjoy the program. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy.
All right, Cindy, we appreciate you. Again, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. A couple of good calls there. We'd like to finish with a few more to give you an opportunity while he is here. And if you have a thought or two and you need something answered in real time, as I like to say, that's the great thing, the beauty of radio. Give us a call, 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. Carlos, I don't want to get too long-winded here. I got to get to a break, but I got to ask you, I know all these attorneys. I know hundreds of them. And, it was always the running joke about the tree on my property. If it falls on my property, it's really on your property. But the attorneys that I've talked to, they have told me that in many ways is some of the most important stuff they deal with in their law practice on a day-to-day basis. So this is a major problem. And Gene has a legitimate gripe, does he not?
Yes, and when we live in the areas that we live in, you kind of enter into an agreement that your house is next to your neighbor's. He has trees. He has a dog that barks. He has a loud car. You're kind of entering into the agreement that you're okay with all these things. And if you're not, and I tell people this, guess what? Get in your car. 20 minutes from here, you could be in the country and by yourself. But if you have a neighbor and he has trees and you know it, you're going to have to make some concessions and understand that you're living in an area where you have a neighbor and he has tall trees, and you're going to have to figure out how to get along with that person. And Gene, he has a big situation there, and we get that a lot. And it all kind of unravels on what relationship you have with that neighbor and the legalities involved in it.
All right, listen, we're going to get one more break in here and come back. Carlos is on the other side waiting for more of your calls. We have some lines available. 866-391-1020, 866-391-1020. And again, their number, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Back with more in a moment.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company, larger than light, and brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
If you love sports, this is the show for you. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Weekday mornings 9 to noon Eastern on the free Odyssey app and YouTube at The Costos. Bringing you the biggest NFL news, guests, and notes from the offseason while getting you ready to win the madness of college hoops. It's You Better You Bet with me, Nick Costos. Live and interactive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, presented by BetMGM. Download the Odyssey app and listen from anywhere for sports talk from people who love sports.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We are certainly living in a wild, crazy, and unpredictable world. We never know what to expect on the news when we wake up in the morning. For many of us, it causes anxiety, fear, and a feeling of being totally overwhelmed. This is Dr. Shufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. All that anxiety raises our stress levels caused by our cortisol hormone. Increased cortisols can create belly fat. To help, we have Belly Begone, Stress Release, and Zenxiety. They work. They really do. Call me at 1-800-900-THIN.
Support St. Anthony school programs and help students with special needs achieve their full potential through inclusive education, therapy sessions, and job skills development. Serving students ages 5 through 21 with Down syndrome, autism, and other intellectual disabilities. Find St. Anthony school programs within select Catholic schools in the Pittsburgh area, including a post-secondary program at Duquesne University. For over 70 years, they have empowered students of all faiths to live independently and contribute meaningfully to society. anxiety. Learn more or donate at StAnthonyKids.org.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, I just want to kind of share this. I just got this instant access message, and it says, just a note to compliment Rob and KDK for having Carlos on every Sunday at 9 a.m. His knowledge and his ability to articulate the numerous issues associated with trees and the legalities facing homeowners. This is the type of quality programming that makes KDK a true valuable resource. I thought you'd be happy to hear that because you're all about your neighbors, this community. It means a lot to you, right, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about what I do. I love being out there in the community. I love Pittsburgh. A quick story, we had a storm call in Mount Washington the other day. This elderly lady we had worked for before had her neighbor's pine tree come across her backyard. So I get up there, I get her first on the list, and she invites me in her kitchen, and we're in there talking, and her husband's there. He's got some medical problems right now, and I'm saying, I'm sending your email right now, but she goes, no, that's an old email. Let me give you a new one. So I go into my phone, and I'm logging it in, and I look at his email, and it was his name at oaklandcatholic.com. And I said, oh, were you a teacher at Oakland Catholic? So we start talking, and he goes, yeah, and before that I taught at Sacred Heart before they closed down. He was my sister's social studies teacher in 1982.
Cool.
Mr. Rudolph. And that's what I love about being out in Pittsburgh. And I could have sat in their kitchen all day and talked to them. They're great people. And that's why I love being out there, meeting people. I'm all about the relationships. I'm not out here for a money grab and sail off into the sunset. I'm probably going to work my whole life, which most small business owners end up doing. So I just couldn't be happier with the platform I have on KDKA, the backing from KDKA, the KDKA listeners that call us. They're second to none. They're our best customers.
Listen, even great quarterbacks have to get a little surgery during the offseason. So you're the quarterback. So you had a little surgery. You feeling good now?
You know what? I'm on the mend. I'm not in chronic pain anymore like I was. I was bone on both knees from doing this type of work for so long. It was a bad quality of life. I rode it out as long as I could and got 2 new knee replacements. One's 3 weeks old and one's a little over 2 months old. And I'm out there in the field. I was running some equipment the other day. I'm powering through. I'm not in pain anymore. I'm just uncomfortable.
You want to give a little shout out to the orthopedic surgeon or healthcare organization?
I'm telling you, UPMC, this surgeon's a rock star. His name's Daniel March. He's a younger guy. The whole experience was amazing. When we went in the morning, the pre-check-in, where they take you to get you prepped, the anesthesia, and going into surgery, coming back out in recovery. They're a well-oiled machine, and I respect that because I run a business, and they're running a business, and it was flawless. I'm telling you, I was so impressed with the process. UPMC, everybody involved. I went into the hospital at 6:30 a.m. I was out at 2:30 p.m. with a new knee. It was very impressive. The surgeon was awesome.
Listen, this is our last one until June the 5th, so we got a couple of weeks before you come back. Just some rules of the road, final few minutes. And really, it's all about being prepared, making sure that you do the inspections, the due diligence. But if you don't do anything, you need to make an appointment before the next storm happens. Because one thing is for sure, it will happen. May not be as severe, but I don't think anybody expected what happened the other night either as we rolled into the weekend. So just finish in the final few minutes about reminding folks, 412-884-TREE, 412-884-8733. Go ahead, Carlos.
Yes, and you're right. It all starts with that call, and our system's really good. You call. We have an office manager. I just hired another office manager to help with the call volume. So I'm trying to keep up with everything. I'm expanding the business for the need that's out there in these communities with these trees on the property, with the storms we're having, with the uncertainties that homeowners, have. Should I do this? Should I do that? I don't want to do more harm than good. You call us. We get a salesman out there. We get an ISA certified arborist out there. You'll get myself out there. And we're going to put you in the best possible position based on what you have on your property, what to do with it, what not to do with it. You might have a tree that we're going to tell you, don't do anything to this tree, leave it alone. And people are so thankful when we tell them that. They're like, wow, we figured you'd try to sell us on something. And honestly, this tree's perfect. It was planted away from the house. It's doing great. It's not threatening to the home. Leave it alone, call us in a few years. So the way we approach everything, we take a lot of pride in it. We want you not as a customer, we want you as a client. Clients are repeats and recommend their family and friends and their neighbors. And we come out there, our trucks are all bright green. All your neighbors are going to know who did your job. Our slogan is, we did your neighbor's tree, and because I would hear that on my voicemail so much over the years. And we put the yard sign in your yard when we're done. We're proud of what we did. We want people to know that we were the company that did this, and we want you to call us.
Is that where you came up with that at? That's really cool.
I'm telling you, I heard it for so many years, and I was like, I got to make this my slogan. It's on our business cards. It's in our Facebook page. It's on our radio commercials at the end. And people get a kick out of it. It's fun. I try to have fun with what I do. I love what I do, and everybody should love what they do for a living. And if you think it's work, then, maybe it's not the right occupation for you. I feel like I've never really worked in the last 30 years. I just love what I do. I'm going to continue to do what I do, and I'm going to continue to be out there meeting people and eating at your diner in your neighborhood or your pizza shop and buying the crew lunch out there. It's just, I couldn't be happier with everything going on right now.
And don't forget, today's the final day of the Beautiful Home and Garden Show, where he is headed after this show. So have a great day at the Home and Garden Show. Enjoy the season, and we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks, okay?
Thanks, Rob. Have a good day.
There he goes. Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service. All right, 412-884-TREE-8733. Busy man, busy day, but so am I every day. We're going to get a bit of a break, and then we'll crank it up for the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday show. I have got a show for you today. If you love the Pirates, you love college basketball, you love the NFL, you love our Pittsburgh Penguins, and some golf, too, the Players' Championship, you're going to want to stay with us today on KDKA. Good morning.
The proceeding was paid for by Greater Pitt Tree Service. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Stephanie Johnson is a licensed clinical psychologist. I could see people being very cynical and skeptical on the last few elections, the state of the economy, and all these things.
And what I see a lot is this all or nothing thinking. And it's either all my belief or nothing. That's not true.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas. The perfect place for mom.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rates reserved.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. One of our guiding principles is to provide great beds at a great value. Our goal is to prove this to our customers every single day. We believe in producing quality mattresses in our factory and selling them directly to you, eliminating the middleman markup. You can rest easy knowing that you're getting a hand-built mattress at a real value. Stop by a location near you. We're confident that you'll be able to see and feel the OMF difference for yourself. Learn more at originalmattress.com.
When you're at a restaurant, do you let someone who doesn't know you order your food? Why should it be any different when buying a mattress? At the Original Mattress Factory, we believe that choosing a mattress should be a personal experience. That's why our knowledgeable sales associates take the time to understand your needs and preferences to help you find the mattress that's right for you. With our wide range of different feels, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. So don't let someone else tell you what you want. Decide for yourself at the Original Mattress Factory.
Crowded waiting rooms, 5 rushed minutes with the doctor. No real answers, just solutions that mask symptoms. For so many, that's what healthcare has become. In and out, no time, no connection. Just another appointment on the schedule. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, it's different. They take the time to listen, explain, and design a plan built around you. Because real relief starts with understanding what's really going on, not just treating the surface. From allergy testing to in-office sinus and nasal procedures, their experienced team uses the latest technology and a personal touch to help you breathe, sleep, and live better. Here, you're not just another number. You're the reason they do what they do. Discover a better way to feel better, one that's built around you. Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-4950. 878-231-4950. That's 878-231-4950.
Join Beth Andrews for the Net Worth Financial Hour Saturdays at 1 to get the news and information you need to make your retirement dream a reality. That's the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews, Saturdays at 1. Net Worth Advisors, LLC is a registered investment advisor.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It is 51 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 10 o'clock. I'm Rob Taylor. Pittsburgh Regional Transit Police are investigating after a person was shot on a bus Saturday afternoon. It happened around 5 o'clock on a P1 bus near the Homewood station of the East Busway. Police say 2 juveniles who may have been responsible for the shooting got off the bus at the Homewood station stop and fled. The person who was shot was taken to a hospital in critical condition. No other injuries were reported. And the East Busway was temporarily closed Saturday evening. It has since reopened. Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa has issued a boil water advisory for customers in Raccoon Township along with Potter Township. The authority says there was a power outage at the Raccoon Township booster station. Residents should boil the water for 1 minute, let it cool before using. Right now, no word on when that boil water advisory will be lifted. Well, a major review of medical records finds that recreational drug use can more than double the risk of a stroke. Here's reporter Brad Gibson.
Researchers at the University of Cambridge examined medical data from over 100 million people. When it comes to illicit drug use, the outcome was striking. Megan Ritson oversaw the study.
The study itself provides compelling evidence that particularly cocaine, amphetamines, and cannabis are causal risk factors for stroke, which has never really been shown before.
Amphetamine and cocaine users had a 122% higher risk.
It really is doubling the risk of stroke.
Cannabis users, 37% higher. According to the CDC, 800,000 strokes occur every year in the U.S. Brad Gibson for CBS News.
Duquesne Light says that they've called in crews from places like Florida and even Canada to help with the restoration of power in the Pittsburgh area after Friday's high winds knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of customers. As of now, Duquesne Light says that there's 25,000 customers without power still in Allegheny County, 2,800 in Beaver County. Duquesne Light's operations director, Matt Nystuen, said over 500 mutual aid trucks have come in or are coming into town to help with the restoration of the electricity.
I think that's one of the things that we took away from last year.